Croft in North Yorkshire, the point of the tour when Ivan Muller wanted to establish clear blue sky between himself and James Thompson. Only 4 points separated them. They were locked together on the second row of the grid. Anthony Reid and Matt Neal both won here at Croft last year, and they returned to the front row this year. Then there was that battle between Ivan Muller and James Thompson on the second row, and Thompson had a big weight advantage. Robert Huff and Tom Chilton, 5th and 6th on row 3. Then Dan Eaves and Colin Turkington in the MG. Jason Plato 9th, James Kay in 10th.
So the car's all set to go then, and it's Anthony Reid starting from his first pole position of the year. Can he convert it into his first victory? Away he goes, a good start from him. Everyone gets away cleanly. Matt Neal trying to chase Anthony Reid down towards the first corner at Clairvaux. This is where it all funnels down. It gets pretty narrow. Matt Neal coming through in second. Thompson though, going around the outside. That's a brave move. Ivan Muller's right behind Thompson sideways, and everybody now trying to thread their way through. Off to the side goes Michael Bentwood. He was on the grass, and I think Tom Chilton was in trouble as well. He went through the gravel trap. Up front, a fantastic start from Anthony Reid, but I think that Ivan Muller has gained. Yes, he has. He's into second because of Matt Neal and James Thompson just coming together. Dan Eaves is next, and he's followed by the two Seats of Rob Huff and Jason Plato.
Everybody's wary of that first corner, especially Muller, as he was dumped in the gravel there last year, and just when it looked like they'd all got through, this is on board with Matt Neal, and you can see alongside him Anthony Reid. Matt is quite cautious going into this first corner, desperate to make sure he doesn't go off. Gets it round the corner fine, but just in front of him to the left, there's James Thompson, and they touch. That leaves the door wide open for the opportunist Muller. Doesn't need a second invitation. He's straight through on the inside up to second.
The top three come through the hairpin. There's Thompson, and Eaves has just been passed by Rob Huff. Good move that from Rob Huff, just up the inside.
Well, Dan Eaves obviously wasn't looking in his mirrors there. He left the door wide open for Rob Huff, and there was not even a hint of any contact there, which makes a change. And as we see Charlie Butler-Henderson trying to get past Sean Watson-Smith with the obligatory touring car contact, but Dan got caught napping there.
Now look at this battle for second place, because Matt Neal and Ivan Muller, they've had some good races so far this year for position, and Matt Neal just behind the Frenchman as the Frenchman just locks a break into Sunny In, as it's known. Sunny In and Sunny Out, these two tricky right-handers.
The camera angle is deceptive there. The cars are braking whilst turning to the right, so you see those puffs of smoke for the inside wheels, and it's hard to get the car slowed down.
Now Anthony Reid, the car just bobbling around a little bit as he comes into Sunny In, but he has got no worries from behind him, and at last perhaps we're going to see Anthony Reid's first win of the season.
Yes, this will back up his teammates' victory in the last race at Mondello. West Surrey Racing have done a lot of work with that car, and particularly John Judd on the engine. Further back, this battle going down to the wire as they approach Sunny.
Yeah, James Kay behind Rob Collard, and he's getting a bit closer, goes for it down the inside, hits Collard. Well, he takes Collard off, and Kay, he doesn't seem to be able to stop. Bang, into the barrier on the outside there, and the Yorkshireman Kay on home turf here, didn't work for him.
No, I think James got his just desserts there. He's not really got an overlap and run into the side of Rob, and I think he's broken the left front suspension, which is why the car won't stop.
And he seems to be struggling now.
Can't get a steering wheel off. Where's your clip, mate? There.
Poor bloke can't even get out of his car. Well, there you go. It's not proving to be a very good day for James Kay, even if it's not far from home here at Croft Circuit. Matt Neal still in third place. He's dropped away just a little bit from Ivan Muller.
Yes, Muller, the opportunist, picked up that second place, much to the annoyance probably of James Thompson, but James further back in fourth, doesn't have the pace. Matt Neal's locked up and gone wide. Has he got a puncture, or has he just locked up and gone wide? This is the last lap. Where's Thompson? Can Thompson snatch by and get that third podium?
I don't think he can. No, Matt Neal's rejoined. It's such a big gap back to James Thompson that Matt Neal's been able to go off circuit, get back on again, and still hold on to third place. Anthony Reid has shown the pace in qualifying, and he's shown the pace in this race as well. He's pulled away, he got the start, and he's taken advantage of it ever since, getting through some of the back markers now, lapping slower cars, but that's not proving to be too much of a problem, and Ivan Muller should be far enough back. There he is, just going past Tom Chilton, who had to change the tyre right at the start of this race, so he's not been playing part of it, I'm afraid. Reid now coming up to the last hairpin, the tightest corner, and it's going to be his first win of the season. He's been very consistent. He's been on the podium just about at every event so far this year, but it's about time that we saw Anthony win one, and he does so here at Croft, where he won last year.
3 different manufacturers represented on the podium, while Muller edges away from James Thompson. Jason Plato, meanwhile, well placed on the grid for race 17, along with Stefan Hodgetts.
Stefan Hodgetts then with a tremendous opportunity to lead for the first time in touring cars if he gets off the line well. Well, initially he makes a surge. Luke Hines is stuck though from the second row. Luke Hines does not get going. Stefan Hodgetts has been passed on the run down to the first corner. Oh, where's Jason Hughes going? Completely different direction to the first corner to everyone else. And into the corner, and Hodgetts is off. Hodgetts in the gravel trap. Oh, it's all gone disastrously wrong for him. Into the first corner from pole position. He's in the gravel. It's Jason Plato that leads this race. Surprise, surprise there, I suppose. Tom Chilton getting sideways in the middle of the pack. But Stefan Hodgetts is out already, and it's Plato who leads. It's Dan Eves in second and Rob Huff in third, and trying to come past if possible.
Well, a disastrous start for Stefan Hodgetts. He bogged down on the line, and behind him Luke Hines stalled altogether, and then to add insult to injury, he got turfed off on the line. There we see it on the line. Not enough revs, too much clutch, and the engine bogs down. He was lucky he didn't stall. Moving down into the first corner, he's been swamped left, right and centre. Thompson on his right. He tries to come in and someone whacks him up the back, turns him round. One of the Halfords cars in the mix as well. Through the flat-out chicane, and look at the speed that Dan Eves' Honda's got. Tremendous speed through that chicane, but the Seats are very quick on the straight, and Plato just pulls away from him, and Rob Huff is along the outside of him.
Yeah, look at this. Rob Huff trying to go around the outside of the tower corner, the right-hander, and he's got just a little bit of an edge here. We're watching from on board James Thompson, who's directly behind the two, but now coming up to the left-hand part of the S's, and Rob Huff's through. So he's into second place. Dan Eves demoted to third, and now James Thompson will try, I'm sure, to put some pressure on Dan Eves and perhaps nip through on the approach to Sonny here. Well, he's not quite close enough. It's very difficult to get alongside somebody there, and he tucks in behind Dan Eves and holds on to fourth place. Into the pits has come Rob Collard. Look at Matt Neal and Ivan Muller just behind. They're rubbing doors once again, and look at the damage to both cars. Both their left front wings are damaged. In Matt Neal's case, it's missing altogether.
It happens frequently on the Hondas, but it never seems to affect their performance. But Muller outbrakes Neal on the way to the corner, and Neal gets a tap from Turkington as he turns it. Well saved, but Turkington's still fighting back on the inside.
Absolutely, he's a feisty racer, isn't he, Turkington? Trying to get back through, and he is back past Matt Neal. And I think Matt will look at that and say, wait, you gave me the tap on the way in then. The least you could have done is let me have the place back. But Colin is fired up. Jason Hughes out, I'm afraid. Steam pouring from the front of his privateer MG. But look at Ivan Muller, because he's now being attacked by both Colin Turkington and Matt Neal, and there's nothing to choose between them. And Turkington really has looked the strongest out there of this lead group. He's been able to get past Matt Neal. Can he now find a way past the reigning champion up towards the hairpin? This is a potential overtaking spot, of course, if he can nip up the inside, but Muller just places his car in the right place, and in fact Turkington, oh, he's been caught out by Matt Neal.
Well, Neal got his opportunity there with Turkington trying to set Muller up on the exit, leaving the door wide open, so its positions back to the way they were. But one of the Protons, that's Farik Harriman retiring, I'm afraid.
Look at the view back from Ivan Muller, and Muller's gone a little bit wide here, has he? This could be a chance for Matt Neal to get past the Frenchman. I think he has got alongside, and in fact Turkington's going to try and take advantage too. Not quite able to on the exit of Sonny out. Look there, it is Matt Neal ahead of Ivan Muller, but Muller's still got Turkington trying to brave it round the outside into the S's. No way there, I'm afraid, not unless you're going to end up on the grass, and Turkington's sensible enough to know that. The best thing for him to do is to try and attack on the inside of the hairpin, but no, Muller's got that covered too.
Not often you see the champion Ivan Muller outpsyched by pressure, but Matt Neal put the pressure on down through Barcroft into Sonny. Muller had just a fraction wide, and that was all the invitation Neal needed to nip through.
Rob Huff still holding second place. It's Jason Plato who leads this race. A 1-2 on the cards here for Seat. What a strong result that would be for them. The MG's also running in tandem, but not quite so well up, I'm afraid, as Turkington keeps trying to get past Ivan Muller.
Seat, of course, had that 1-2 at Mondello, but it was disallowed afterwards, with Rob Huff being excluded for pushing out Bentwood, so this would be the first real 1-2, and what a result it would be for Seat.
Still Turkington looking for a way past Muller, and here comes Reed once more, trying to get alongside Turkington. In fact, he has just managed it, and we're looking back from Ivan Muller's cars. They accelerate now up to 90, 100 miles an hour, and they're banging door handles again. The two teammates for MG, for WSR, but somehow they managed to sort out who goes through the corner first, and it's still Turkington with the edge over Anthony Reid. But into the last corner of the last lap, and it's Jason Plato, who is indeed going to lead home a Seat 1-2. What a fantastic result for the team. Their first season in British touring cars. That is Jason's third win of the season, and it's a 1-2 to back it up.
What a result for Seat, and especially Jason Plato, who now won as many races as James Thompson. 3 in all, and the best finish of the season for the Seat youngster, Rob Huff. Plato delighted, and Rob certainly not in a huff with that podium.
Congratulations, honey.
Cheers, Vic. Thank you. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
You started from 6th, so...
Yeah, started 6th on the grid. Steph didn't get off the grid very well at all. And just went around the outside of everyone into the first corner. Found myself in 3rd, I think. Got past Dan. Had a good battle with Dan for the majority of that race. Gave me a little tap just to let me know he was there in the hairpin. But yeah, fantastic. Couldn't have gone any better.
So we see those two Seats once more, this time on the front row for race 18. Thompson is there on the 2nd row ahead of Matt Neal and Ivan Muller there on the 3rd row. The MGs are sticking together on the 4th row. And Tom Chilton and Sean Watson-Smith are right behind them.
So the two Seats now hoping to make the break in the 3rd race of the day, as they did in race 2. The lights go out, and it's a very even start between both Jason Plato and Rob Huff. Everyone else gets away cleanly too, but who's going to lead into the first corner? Clervaux. As we look at it, Jason Plato on the left, Rob Huff on the right, side by side, turning in. Rob Huff goes around the outside, gets in front of Plato. Plato defending 2nd place from James Thompson. Ivan Muller also trying to go through as Carl Breeze gets into trouble through the gravel, but I think he might be able to rejoin. Muller was trying to go around the outside of one of the Hondas there at Hawthorne, but I don't think he quite managed to do it. And it all means that Rob Huff is our race leader. Can Rob aim for his first win in touring cars? As he said early on, just look at this bunch though. Ganging up on Matt Neal, it's Colin Turkington and Anthony Reid with Sean Watson-Smith and Tom Chilton all playing the game. On board now with Tom Chilton. He's just gone past Sean Watson-Smith, turns into Sonny in. Oh, he got it all sideways there. Big moment there. Oh, and Watson-Smith comes through as one of the marker posts goes flying. And also in trouble there, Stefan Hodgetts. Well, I think he might have lost a wheel again. And also his teammate, Charlie Butler-Henderson's got a puncture to the left front. So we've lost those 2 Team Sure-Term cars on the first lap. That's what happened to Charlie Butler-Henderson. He tangled with James Kay. Oh, and a bang there on the side of the Matt Neal's car from Colin Turkington as Turkington squeezes through, and Matt Neal's got Anthony Reid right behind.
But it's the Vauxhalls and the MGs now running lighter in this race that should be able to hunt down the Seats, ballasted up after their success in race 2.
Colin Turkington won race 3 at Mondello last time out. We're riding on board with the Irishman now. I wonder if he's going to move up the order. That car's looking very stable. Oh, but he's hit Dan Eves. Well, he clouts the rear quarter of Dan Eves' car. Dan had no chance at all.
Well, this is on board with Dan, and he's already turning into the corner when he gets hit, and absolutely a passenger there. And Turkington really committed to the inside, but nowhere near getting an overlap. And I'm afraid, Colin, that's going to be a fine at the very least, if not anything more.
Matt Neal also got past him, but look at Thompson putting Plato under pressure here now for 2nd.
Who the f***'s that behind pushing me like a idiot? Tell Rob to sort this out, otherwise I'm going to get off here.
Jason, it's Mark. We are telling Rob to slow down. He should open the door for you at the hairpin the next time. Should open the door for the hairpin next time.
Interesting stuff going on here, Tim. The Seat team working hard.
That's Mark Busfield on the radio and Eddie Hinkley, the engineer, working out some team tactics. And what a shame for Rob Huff, who's got a good lead, and Jason Plato, not fancying making a race of it, wants some help.
There, however, is Jason Plato getting a little closer to the back of Rob Huff. Now, I wonder if Rob is going to let him through. As we gather, he's been requested. Not easy to do that here at Croft. Up towards the hairpin, yes, he's left the door wide open, but he's got to be careful because Thompson might go through into 2nd. And as they come out, side by side, Rob's got to try and fend off Thompson. He does just do it.
Well, Huff giving up that place, that hard-earned lead that he had, and he knew if he stayed wide, he'd have the right-hand side for this first corner and be fairly safe. But he's now going to have to do the job of defending the back of Jason Plato's car.
Now we're riding with Tom Chilton once again. Anthony Reid trying to attack Shaw. Watson-Smith gets down the inside. Watson-Smith cuts back on the inside himself, and they slow each other down, giving Tom Chilton a great run here out of town. But where can he go? They're coming up towards the S's. The road is filled with Reid and with Watson-Smith, and Tom tries to go around the outside. No way!
There was never a way through there, and poor Tom's now ended up out on the dirt, running on all the marbles. He'll have muck all over his tyres. He should have held back and tried to get a run at Watson-Smith after the S's.
Matt Neal under pressure still from Colin Turkington. Ivan Muller, who lost those 2 places earlier on, still keeping on terms with them. Turkington there. Oh, and Matt Neal's in trouble. That was why Turkington suddenly had to move out the way. Matt Neal slowing down, and he's coasting off to the side of the circuit, offline, onto the grass, to the nearest marshal's post. And that looks like a pretty catastrophic failure of something on the car. His dad looks at the monitor. It's all over for Matt Neal.
Yes, Father Steve with a Paddington hard stare at the monitor there as he sees his car retire, but so not going to be the day for Team CompuTeach with Halfords. But back to Kirkington. Look how stable that car looks on the brakes, and now he's putting Thompson under pressure. Thompson's run wide.
Oh, that's not something you see too often. James Thompson, a slight mistake. He just didn't quite have the stability with the car through the far section. Turkington takes advantage. Oh, Thompson trying to come back at him at the S's. No way through there, and Turkington therefore is up into 3rd place. Now that we've lost Matt Neal, it means that Thompson is 4th and Ivan Muller is 5th. So from Thompson's point of view, the championship, he'll be sorry to have lost Matt Neal from that. It was a good buffer.
Here's the replay. Pressure brought to bear on Thompson through the far series of corners, and he just runs out wide, opens the door nicely to Turkington.
Colin Turkington and Huff gets sideways. Good car control, but is he going to hold 2nd place, or is Colin Turkington going to snatch 2nd? He's very close to it.
Well, poor Rob Huff, you've got to feel for him. He had a big lead. He gave up his 1st place for Plato. Now he's had to drop back and incur the wrath of Turkington. I think he should get Plato's bonus money this race.
Well, Turkington's running out of opportunities to get past Rob Huff, because we're into the closing stages now, and as long as Huff defends it to the hairpin, he should hold on to 2nd. It looks like we're going to be on for another Seat 1-2.
Here we come again! Well done, everyone!
And Jason had every reason to be delighted, as did Sayat's team. The second 1-2 of the day. James Thompson makes up the vital ground on Ivan Muller. The day really belonged to the Sayat duo.
Great result, and that makes up a little bit for Mondello, where technically I had the 3rd race in the bag and the safety car came out. I mean, it's just one of those things happen. But today we had the pace and we worked very well, and all the engineers did a great job on my car. It was improved again in the 3rd race, and yeah, it's a cracking team is Sayat Sport UK.
Jason helped me out a lot by sacrificing at the first corner for me. We had a bit of a plan that, if we got even starts off the grid, then he'd just hold back a little bit, let me through, and then obviously the favour was returned a little bit later.
So James Thompson was nibbling away at Ivan Muller's lead, while Jason Plato was the only driver to win 2 races at an event this season, also making ground in the championship as well. A welcome return to Knock Hill in Scotland, their only racetrack just outside Edinburgh, a tight circuit, and that promised some spectacular racing.
We're all set for the start of round 19 of the Green Flag MSA British Touring Car Championship from Scotland, and it's a Scotsman on pole position in the MG. Anthony Reid gets a great start. Not such a good start from Tom Chilton, but I think it might be enough to hold 2nd. Yes, he slots in front of Colin Turkington. James Thompson is in 4th place. There's a spin in the middle. That's Carl Breeze in the Alpha. James Kay takes to the grass to avoid him, and Carl Breeze rejoins, so that could have been chaos, but thankfully I think they've got through it safely, and no one has collected the Alfa Romeo. Oh, somebody is off, and that might have been as a result, I'm not sure, of what was going on. The marker posts get taken out straight away there at the chicane as Rob Huff attacks James Thompson and tries to get past 4th, and he's trying to go around the outside of Clark Curve. A brave place to try it. He's on the grass, and he's through the banner, and he loses places as a result, and Rob Huff is demoted.
Well, we've seen Rob Huff make some bold moves, but that was a little bit daft, that one. He was never going to get around the outside. Always he was going to get pushed on the dirt. He's now lost his splitter and compromised his race.
Well, Luke Hines' car still in the pits, so problems for his car. Anthony Reid leads, but look at Tom Chilton. Chilton is chasing the MG. He's right there with him. So we've got a battle for the lead here between Anthony Reid and Tom Chilton. opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to age, of course. Anthony Reid, 47 years old, and Tom Chilton, 19 years old. Look at Ivan Muller here. Ivan Muller keeping the pressure on Dan Eves, currently running in 6th place, but their top 3 are all closed up together once more, and Chilton keeps the pressure on Anthony Reid as Luke Hines rejoins.
Yes, don't know what the problem was there, but what a great battle up at the front here. Chilton looks really busy. Oh, no, little bit of a hold up here. This is the problem. You can attack the car in front, but straight away you have to defend from the car behind. Look at Chilton now. He's got to defend. This gives Reid an opportunity to break away, but 3 abreast into the hairpin.
Fantastic stuff. Thompson's trying to go around the outside here, but on the inside is Colin Turkington. Chilton doesn't know which way to go, but he does a great job there. He doesn't squeeze anybody out, and he's still got the place. Turkington's on his inside. Oh, there's a touch there between Turkington and Chilton as Chilton shut the door. But where's Thompson going? Thompson's going to go around the outside. He's trying to take 2nd place around the outside into Duffer's Dip. Oh, that's a great move from James Thompson. He's got past Chilton and he's gone in front into McIntyre's. Across the grass they go, and James Thompson's in 2nd.
That was a brilliant move and a very brave one. Let's not forget, that's where James Thompson had a massive accident years ago, concussed him and putting out of racing for several months. So that was a really brave effort.
Rob Huff is pulling into the pits. Rob Huff into the pits, so he has problems, presumably as a result of running wide out of that Clark curve when he tried to go past Thompson. Look at this great battle. Turkington's through. Oh, great move from Colin Turkington. Physical stuff, but he did it cleanly. That was a great move from Colin Turkington, and it's put him into 3rd.
That was a good move. He's been looking up the inside there for several laps because Chilton takes a very direct attacking approach to McIntyre's, and it makes him slow out of the corner. Here we see it again. Well, we missed the approach to the corner, but he left the door wide open there, and that little bit of course cutting there by Chilton is not working in his favour, as unlike some of the other corners where he is making time up.
Well, we've still got a great battle going on here. James Thompson versus Colin Turkington. Thompson now in danger of losing that 2nd place. They almost made contact. There was a bit of rubbing going around the hairpin, and now heading down towards Duffer's Dip. Chilton's going to try and make it 3 abreast. Turning in there, Chilton just tucks into place. Turkington takes 2nd. It's MG 1 and 2 here at Knockhill, and that was great hard racing again from Colin Turkington. Thompson's demoted to 3rd.
Well, Turkington, we've seen him come alive usually in the last race there. Wow, look at the difference in line between Chilton. It's going to work for him this time. And Thompson's lost 2 places on this lap. But yes, hats off to Turkington for getting through and looking racy in the first race for an MG 1-2.
There is Reid versus Turkington down the hill towards McIntyre's. The 2 MGs have a massive advantage.
Turkington's caught up the gap to Reid, but I'm sure on this last lap he's not going to spoil a fantastic 1-2 for MG. This is the last lap, but he has caught up and he's looked very fast this weekend in this race with fastest lap as well. And Thompson and Muller running around, but there may just be a little bit to play for that 10th place, I fancy.
Well, it's been a fantastic outing for WSR, for Anthony Reid and Colin Turkington. We were chatting to John Cleland earlier on today, Tim, and John, who keeps a wary eye on touring cars, says over the last year or so he's been extremely impressed by young Colin Turkington. He sees him as a real star, not only of the future but of now, perhaps, in touring cars. But it's his teammate who wins. It's Anthony Reid who wins. Turkington finishes 2nd. That completes his finishing record of every race this year, and Chilton gets a fine 3rd. Thompson takes 4th. Muller takes 5th place.
Anthony Reid, a popular Scottish winner here, but Colin Turkington demoted to 4th place for passing under the yellow flag. Jason Plato on pole again for the 2nd race.
We're getting all ready for the start. It's going to be Jason Plato versus Matt Neal from the front row. Plato makes an excellent start in the Seat. Matt Neal slots into 2nd place. Rob Collard going well. He's up into 3rd and being chased at the moment by Dan Eves into the 1st corner. Duffer's Dip. It drops steeply downhill to the right here, back to the left and into McIntyre's, and Jason Plato has made the perfect getaway from that pole position. He dropped down to 10th place in race 1 to earn it, and now he's going to make the most of it.
Well, after his success at winning the 2nd and 3rd races in previous meetings, everybody else has cottoned on. The team dynamics in the competition with Halford's Hondas, they say they've played it careful in the first race. We'll now see if they've got real pace from Matt Neal and Dan Eves to challenge Plato.
Ivan Muller now trying to get past Sean Watson-Smith. We go on board with the Frenchman. He's on the outside now. They're coming to the slowest corner, the Taylor's hairpin. It's hard on the brakes here. Down to 1st gear to scramble around. He's still trying to go around the outside, but Sean Watson-Smith in that Proton is keeping their speed up. Oh, they almost bashed door handles there. Now heading up high up the hill. It's a lot of acceleration acceleration required from the engine before they level off here and get into the braking zone for the first corner.
Every time Muller does this, he's taking the championship in his hands. He can't risk a non-finish, and there he concedes to Sean Watson-Smith, who gets very sideways, not once but twice, as they approach McIntyre. So now there's 4 cars all amongst each other.
Yeah, and Tom Chilton's joined out. Thompson's off. Thompson's been tapped by somebody. Can he get back on circuit? I'm not sure. Yes, well, he might do. Yeah, there he is. He's got back on in front of James Kay, but he's lost a lot of time. Sean Watson-Smith, Yvan Muller, then it's Colin Turkington, then it's Tom Chilton, Anthony Reid, and Thompson's dropped a lot of places.
Oh, disaster for Carl Breeze and the GA Motorsport Alpha.
Yeah, it's end of race for that car, I'm afraid, but back on board with Yvan Muller. This is the situation we've seen for a couple of laps now. He gets a better exit from the hairpin, but loses out in straight line speed. But now look, side by side. Meanwhile, Danny's trying to get past Collard, and Muller is passed. Muller has got ahead of Sean Watson-Smith just behind. There he is, look, the Vauxhall ahead of the Proton, and now it's the MG of Colin Turkington trying to do the same. The South African driving that Proton, doing a brilliant job. It's his job to try and hold on to his position. He's not doing anything wrong. He's placing the car well, and it's up to them to find a way past.
Absolutely, he's racing for position, and he will fight for every one of them, but they're going to gang up on him. Turkington will want to pass as quickly as possible so as not to let Muller get away. Reid is patiently waiting at the back of this queue. He's only moved up 1 place from his starting position of 10th, and he's not out of this championship, so he'll want to score good points.
Here comes Colin Turkington trying the outside route once again, but he's got to watch out. Reid! Yeah, Anthony Reid! Oh no, there's contact there between Chilton and Turkington. Reid almost collected them, and somehow they're all still going.
It's such a tight corner that is, and Chilton trying to look up the inside, Reid looking up inside of him, and nearly at the tip. Oh, and that's Turkington with steering problems.
Yeah, that car's crabbing. It's not looking healthy at all. Reid then, and Tom Chilton. Look at Rob Huff. Rob Huff has joined the party from, remember, he started right at the back in the Seat, and he's now there with Tom Chilton. He's in 10th place. That's been a good drive so far from Rob Huff. Turkington has gone out, hasn't he? Because we know he's limping round, and I think... Oh, look at that! Chilton! Nearly over!
Well, so close to rolling over there. Chilton, that's short wheelbase, little car, the Honda, and he's been riding the curves, but that time he just launched it up in 2 wheels, stunts fashion. Well, that was so close to disaster.
Well, I saw that a couple of times in qualifying yesterday. He had it up on 2 wheels. He is not scared. He is so committed. Look at this again. Over the curve, up it went. And I tell you what, he did that a few times in qualifying yesterday. James Thompson is down in 13th position after that problem he had, and in fact Thompson's come into the pits. Watson-Smith and Huff, little contact there between Rob Huff and Watson-Smith. They're still side by side as they come up the hill. Both these cars have strong engines. That's Seat, very quick in a straight line. Look at Muller, he muscles his way past Collard. Yvan Muller is into 4th place, and this could be a crucial race in the championship. Thompson is out, Muller could be on for some very useful points here. Now, there's Jason Plato. It's 1.9 seconds his advantage over Matt Neal and Dan Eves. On board with Yvan Muller. What a fantastic shot. Looking straight into the eyes of Yvan. He's in 4th place, remember. He's a little bit behind Dan Eves, but he can focus on scoring those 8 points that will put him 7 ahead of his big rival, James Thompson, in the championship. And Plato does not seem to be under too much trouble here, even though he's got Matt Neal. But what about Rob Huff? Rob Huff might have a chance here of getting past Yvan Muller. He's got down the inside into Clark. He's hit him, slid into him slightly there, could have damaged the Vauxhall, steering Huff onto the grass, and that's pretty dramatic stuff. But Huff now in 4th position.
Well, I mean, Yvan Muller will not like that one bit. He doesn't like anybody racing him too closely when he's going for the championship. He's fighting back. Rob Huff may have some damage to his car. What a shame. He's driven brilliantly. He got a good run. He's got to run through the chicane. He's gone up the inside trying to make a clean pass and get alongside, but locked the brakes up a fraction and ran into Yvan.
So Jason Plato into Duffer's Dip. Matt Neal that bit closer. We're on to the last lap now, and Luke Hines now getting down the inside of Rob Huff. So Rob Huff dropping back again. Plato, who won the last 2 races at Croft, now looking to add to that tally even more. Up the hill he comes with the 2 Hondas chasing. I wonder if he's going to be able to do it twice again today. We've got another race still to go here today, don't forget. Jason is in control, but Matt Neal's that touch closer, and this really is the last lap now. And Matt Neal having a little look more. Plato having to defend now. He's got some work to do if he's
a perfect second half of this lap. There's really this last but one corner. Clark, he must execute this perfectly to get a good run down to the hairpin to avoid Matt Neal getting a chance to pass. He looks to have done it well. The Seat power will carry him through. Will he defend the inside, or is he confident he's got enough pace?
Well, this is the last time they come down to the hairpin, so Matt Neal is running out of opportunities. He's not going to make the lunge. He knows that there's a third race to come. He does not want to damage the car, and all three of them are driving cleanly. They want their cars in one piece. They will start up front for the third race of the day, but they win. Jason Plato wins at Not Kill.
So Plato's race 1 tactics paying off with a win here. It's followed home by Matt Neal and Dan Eves, and then Ivan Muller. And that's the order of the grid for race 21 of the BTCC. Plato's first, with Matt Neal beside him. Dan Eves alongside, Ivan Muller on the second row, then Luke Hines and Rob Huff. Anthony Reid and Sean Watson-Smith are next. Meanwhile, James Thompson at the back in 16th place.
As we get all ready for round 21 of the Green Flag MSA British Touring Car Championship to get underway here in Scotland. Away we go. Good start again from Jason Plato. Going with him is Matt Neal and Dan Eves, and everybody I think is away cleanly from that standing start down towards Duffer's Dip. Plato holds the middle of the road. Matt Neal follows him through. Anthony Reid there with Rob Huff side by side behind them, and they're coming still side by side into McIntyre's. Anthony Reid on the inside, Rob Huff going around the outside of him. Great battle between those two, and it's still continuing as they come up to the chicane, but Plato's making a break. Huff over the grass, so is Reid, and those two, it always looked like something was going to happen, and Dan Eves now making a move to try and get past his teammate. He's done it. He's into second place as Plato is getting away.
Plato's got the art of starting this Seat absolutely nailed. He's made a brilliant start every time he's been on the front row. Luke Hines on the third row backed everybody up with another poor start. He made one at Mondello, but Eves looks to be on a mission, and so is Huff.
Yeah, here comes Rob Huff, but he's squeezed down there by Ivan Muller. Muller just eases him out to the very edge of the track, and Huff has to tuck in behind him once more. Then it's Anthony Reid and the MG. Behind him is Sean Watson-Smith. Then it's Luke Hines, and this is a good battle. James Thompson trying to get past James Kay, and Thompson's up to 10th already. That's a fantastic first lap from Thompson. Reid getting inside Huff as well. Anthony Reid dives past the Seat. Hines got past Thompson in the background. Don't know where to look next.
It's action and plenty in this year's British Touring Car Championship. The cars at the front are the heaviest, the cars behind the lighties, they're trying to fight their way through. Reid's on a mission, he's still a championship contender. He won the first race, he wants a top four or even a podium this weekend. Dan Eves has been very quick in that orange CompuTeach with Halford's Honda all weekend. He was my teammate here back in 2002, and he does have this circuit absolutely nailed. By contrast, his teammate Matt Neal is going backwards.
Yeah, Muller's past him, and now Reid's coming past him. And Rob Huff, everybody's barging Matt Neal out the way. Very rudely removed from what was initially third. Now he's way down the order, dropping back corner by corner. Looking back from Anthony Reid's MG, looking over the boot lid, through the rear wing, and back at the Seat of Rob Huff. But it's his teammate, Huff's teammate, Jason Plato, who leads again by 1.1 seconds at the moment. Thompson's now got past Hines. Here we are riding on board with James Thompson, heading down towards Duffer's Dip, but Matt Neal is just that little bit too far ahead of him. Neal hops over the curb, not quite as much two-wheel action as we saw from Chilton, but still very close. Bit wide there from Matt Neal.
Yes, this is the section where the others are a lot quicker. Watch the line through hopefully the head-on camera. Matt Neal takes it quite tidy. The others cut more of the chicane off and carry more speed out of the corner, which leads down to the next one, and therefore an overtaking. Classic overtake by Thompson, exactly as we called it.
Side by side those still, Tim, as they come out of the corner. Great clean racing between Matt Neal and James Thompson. 2 stars, and look at Reid. Reid's got on the inside of Ivan Muller, and he's taken third place. Well, that's a really dynamic move from Anthony Reid. It was clean too, and he's moved into third. Muller is back down to 4th position, and Rob Huff's right there with them too. So for Anthony Reid, race 1 winner. He's on. Oh, Thompson's been hit. Thompson's been hit by somebody. There's smoke pouring from his car. How much damage is done? He can't believe this. Every time he goes out, he's been hit by somebody. Oh, and surely he's in trouble here.
The problem with the back of that car, that is the car that he damaged in practice. The whole of the back of that car was smashed in. It's really only made of pieced together tape and a little bit of metal welded into the back. It's certainly not as strong as a standard car. So any accident, any damage damage like that is going to cause a multiple effect of crushing, and it's pushed the bodywork onto the tyre, but he looks to have got away with it.
Jason Plato is having to drive defensively now, and what he's trying to do is to put that second car in the group in the middle of the sandwich there. He's trying to almost allow Reed to close up, isn't he?
Very much so. He's trying to back Dan Eves up on the road. Dan Eves, oh, this is brave, it's getting tough. This might work. This might work. That was a good, clean move. He got clearly up the inside. There was a little bit of contact, but it was absolutely side to side.
So Dan Eves takes the lead from Jason Plato, and Anthony Reed now coming up into second place, but Plato's trying to come down the inside to stay in second. And remarkably, Dan Eves has closed on, caught and passed Jason Plato, and he's moved ahead of the Seat Honda, and now in front at the track Knockhill, where they took their first win with the Civic Type R 2 years ago in the hands of Andy Prio, and now it's Dan Eves doing likewise with his car, pulling away here from Jason Plato and Anthony Reed.
Yes, this battle as Reed slips up the inside of Plato. Plato's now starting to suffer with halfway through the race, with the extra weight taking its toll on the tyres, and look what's happened. Ivan Muller and Rob Huff, who were running further back in 4th and 5th, have now caught up to make this a 4-way scrap for second place.
Oh, and Reed's got the inside into Clark Court curve this time, and it's got to be Plato who's got to be careful, because now Muller might get him as well. Muller trying to get alongside. These two have real history between them. They used to be teammates. They fell out big time a couple of years ago. They've had a couple of dices this year at Mondello in particular where it went wrong, but it's clean at the moment. Muller has got past Jason Plato, and now Plato only has his teammate Rob Huff right behind, and you can see the difference that the ballast is making to this man, Jason Plato. He can't be as quick as earlier on because he's carrying more weight in the car.
This is the way the rules are set this year. This is the way to penalise the winners. It makes for some fantastic racing. As you say, Jason Plato was able to win the second race fairly comfortably, just can't keep the pace up with the success ballast added. And he's now got his teammate Rob Huff, who's at the moment being fairly gentle with him at the back. But will Rob Huff suffer? Oh, Muller's had some contact.
Yeah, he's got the tyre rubbing on bodywork like Thompson had earlier on. Thompson's still running in 6th place at the moment. You just saw him in the background there. But Muller now with a bit of damage to the bodywork. Now Plato will try and line him up for another pass. Down into the hairpin, Taylor's hairpin. Oh, here we go. Is he going to give him a nudge? He does. He gives him a little tap into the corner. He goes one side, Huff tries to go the other, and Muller is sandwiched in between, and Plato's back through.
Muller will not like that. It's his arch enemy, Plato, just easing him wide on the brakes there. Now he's got the other Seat attacking him on the other side. They are quick up the straight, even with the balance. Will Muller brave it out on the inside? They're going to be side by side round Clark. Just holds it. Muller will be absolutely fuming. That bumper's finally come off, so he hasn't got that to worry about. The only danger in this race is failing the weight check at the end of it, I think.
Yeah, there's not much left on that car, but it's still going fast. He stays ahead of Rob Huff. Huff goes very wide indeed. Oh, he was lucky to get back on the track there, and Muller is given a little moment's respite because that cost Rob Huff about less than half a second. But look how James Thompson's catching this group. Thompson's going quickly at the moment. Some quick laps of 55.8 last time around, quicker than the rest of this lead pack, although it's still Anthony Reed who set the fastest lap early on. And look at Reed. Don't forget Reed here. He's still in second and catching Dan Eves a little bit as we look at this great race for third position. Plato, Ivan Muller, the two great rivals of recent years in touring cars, the two who battled over the 2001 championship, and Plato nudged him and Muller says, I'm going to get my revenge here, I'm going to give you a nudge. And oh, it's so close. It's about 80-90 miles an hour through there. They're nudging each other. Muller now trying to get up the inside. Oh, they're pushing each other. Muller goes off. Muller's on the grass, and Plato's got through safely, and it's Thompson's got between them now.
Knockhill always produces fantastic racing. That is the exact place that Thompson, his teammate, went off in the first race. Now Muller's had the same medicine dished out to him. This championship just fluctuates one way or the other as we see Chilton in the gravel.
Yeah, very bent right rear wheel on that one. Thompson now under pressure from Rob Huff. But for Thompson, this is major, major news. And up front, I think Reed's got in front of Eves. I think there might have been a change for the lead. There has. Anthony Reed has got ahead of Dan Eves just as they went over the line ahead of us. There he is. The MG's got in front of Eves. And Reed, who won race one earlier on today, has got ahead once again. And Turkington now had a think about getting past Thompson. Thompson perfectly Oh, position there, but he's got alongside Plato. Plato made a little mistake there at the hairpin, and suddenly James Thompson's got a chance, but Turkington's going to try and make it 3 abreast as they come up over the hill. Back marker in the way. Oh, they squeeze past it somehow, and Turkington's going to come back again into Duffer's Dip. Thompson's into 3rd, and Turkington's going to try and get past the Seat to move into 4th. Bit of contact, he's through.
That was great. I think Plato must have just locked up a little bit at the hairpin and run a fraction wide, and that was all the chance that Thompson and then Turkington needed to go. You can't get back into line. If you lose one place, there's someone else there just to dive up the inside and take that place away from you.
We're on board Ivan Muller. He's still going. He's in 9th behind Matt Neal. That's the back marker. Richard Marsh just moving well out of the way, doing a fine job of getting out of the way of these guys. Muller desperate to reclaim some points. It's been a complete reversal of race 2, and it's Thompson who's going to gain on this one as opposed to Ivan Muller.
James Thompson's 3rd place is by no means assured. Here comes Turkington. He's got alongside. This is the perfect run up the hill and into the first corner. Turkington's going to get that final place if he can get past here. Will Thompson braid it around the outside? We've seen him do it. No, he's too far back.
The power of that newly developed 4-cylinder Judd-developed MG engine was able to carry Turkington up the hill and move him past James Thompson, and Turkington now into 3rd place. So MG's looking to finish 1st and 3rd here in the 3rd race of the day. Don't forget, oh, Plato very wide, he's on the grass. Oh, and his teammate goes past him. Plato had no choice there really but to let his teammate through, and he's almost let Luke Hines past, and Hines will still get a run on him down towards the hairpin. It's the last corner of the last lap, and Anthony Reid is going to make it 2 out of 3. The win in race 1, the win in race 3, and that was a brilliant race from the veteran. 2nd goes to Dan Eves.
So 2 out of 3 for Anthony Reid in Scotland. A fantastic day for him, but maybe more significantly, James Thompson finished a clear 5 places ahead of Ivan Muller.
Anthony, what an absolutely cracking race. It was so eventful. What was your favourite part?
Winning that 3rd race, I mean, fantastic. I mean, I can't describe the feeling I have at the moment. I mean, so delighted for the team and MG, you know, because it's a privately run car, but it's so quick at the moment.
What was your favourite move? Because, I mean, there was so much going on in that race.
Yeah, I love overtaking Ivan Muller.
Why?
I don't need to explain that one, do I?
No.
So Anthony Reid gave himself an outside chance of winning the championship. James Thompson, though, has whittled away at Muller's lead, is now just 1 point behind him. And Vauxhall's still way out on top with 397 in the manufacturers. Brands Hatch was next, this famously unpredictable track where Anthony Reid will be hoping to make his own impression on the championship race. That would mean edging out Muller and Thompson.
We're getting ready then for the start of round 22 of the Green Flag MSA British Touring Car Championship. It's a crucial time in the points battle. What is going to happen here? Matt Neal versus Ivan Muller from the front row of the grid. It's a good start from the orange Honda of Matt Neal. James Kay is slow away from 3rd place. Luke Hines going past him, but Matt Neal has got the best start. He leads as they go into Paddock Hill Bend. There's a bit of bunching behind. You can see Tom Chilton going around the outside in the black Honda. Coming up, there was also Sean Watson-Smith in the Proton, but it's Matt Neal that leads at the hairpin for the first time, chased by Ivan Muller and James Thompson. It's James Kay who's managed to stay in 4th. They've got a spinner at the back there.
That's Carl Breeze. Unfortunately, I thought we were going to get every car around the first 2 corners. Carl Breeze unfortunately turned around, but at the front, absolute perfect start by Matt Neal, but immediately under pressure from Muller. He didn't get any of that wheel spin. He just drove that car away from the start absolutely perfectly.
And the off is the Hodgetts in the Alpha. He's off at Clearways now. We don't see what happened there, but that's on the turning in point to Clearways corner. Stefan Hodgetts, after looking as though he was going to get a top 10, and of course that's put Turkington into 10th place now. They've got an MG into the top 10, and it could be into pole position for race 2 here. 23 laps have been completed, 4 laps to go. Matt Neal is still the race leader. Ivan Muller in 2nd, James Thompson in 3rd, James Kay is 4th. Luke Hines still chased by Rob Huff. There is the battle for 3rd, but poor Stefan Hodgetts is out. And we're on board briefly with Jason Plato, comfortably in 9th place. Will he dare try and drop 1 place to finish in 10th? It might be too risky. Matt Neal has crossed the line. He's onto his last lap now as Tom Chilton still puts the pressure on Luke Hines for 5th place. But Matt Neal looking to take his second win at Brands Hatch this year, having won here in April. He has really controlled this race from pole position. A great start from him. He's got a 1.8 second gap over Ivan Muller, and he's just got half a lap to complete now to take victory here at Brands Hatch. Muller will be pretty happy, I think. It'll extend his lead slightly over Thompson, but Thompson, he's struggled with a bit more ballast and he's going to come home in 3rd place. Who will be 10th though? That's the big question. Turkington's under pressure from Bentwood, let me tell you, as they come down the backstretch. Matt Neal's heading towards the checkered flag. He's out of clearways onto Brabham Straight. Matt Neal takes the first race win of the day. Ivan Muller finishes in 2nd place. We wait for James Thompson to come through in 3rd.
So a Matt Neal victory with Muller and Thompson 2nd and 3rd. Colin Turkington was awarded that 10th place as Michael Bentwood was deemed to have pushed too hard. So Turkington started pole for the next race.
We're all set for round 23 of the Green Flag MSA British Touring Car Championship. From Brands Hatch, it's one of the toughest circuits to overtake, but we're on for a great race and Turkington makes a good start from pole position. Plato slots into 2nd. Watson Smith tries to squeeze through on the inside, but there's no space because Plato has filled the gap there. And out, oh, and there's a spinner, and that's Muller. Oh, there's Hines. It's Luke Hines in trouble. Luke Hines in the 3rd of the VX Racing cars got tipped into a spin. Thompson's still there. Muller is still there. A bit further down, he got slowed down in that incident, but he didn't get taken out, which is going to be a big relief to him. It's Turkington that leads the race from Jason Plato.
The 2 race favourites, Turkington and Plato, got off the line. Turkington made the better start. Plato was forced to move over across on Sean Watson-Smith and nearly had a repeat of the accident he had here back in May where he wrote off his car. But now he's in the groove, immediately up the inside at Clearways. He's got a good inside overlap onto the main straight on Turkington already.
Oh, that was a great move from Plato, clambering over the curb to make sure he didn't hit Turkington. And they're side by side at 130 miles an hour on the brakes into Paddock Hill Bend, down 2 gears into 4th, and Plato with that inside line has the lead. He's taken the advantage from the MG. It's the yellow and silver Seat that goes ahead, and we're looking back now from Plato at Colin Turkington. Sean Watson-Smith in the 3rd of those 3 cars going well. Behind him is Tom Chilton in the Honda, and then the 2nd of the Seats, that's being driven by Rob Huff.
Plato really aggressive on the first lap. He stated his intentions straight away. That was a really good first lap. He's already got 5 wins under his belt, as you say. He's now looking for number 6.
Yeah, he was superb into this corner, Clearways. Watson-Smith now, this is where he said to me that they're struggling a little bit for traction out of this corner. Anthony Reid is into the pit. Anthony Reid, the man who's had such a successful run coming into this meeting at both Croft and Knockhill. He won 2 races at Knockhill, but he's not going to go well here. Chilton up to 3rd now, so the group there just behind, that's Chilton in 3rd and Rob Huff alongside. They bang wings as they turn into surtees, and Rob Huff has got 3rd.
Well, Rob Huff, he's got more weight on his car than teammate Jason Plato. Plato with the lightest ballast success on the car, minus 24 kilos. Rob Huff on 0.
There is poor Anthony Reid getting out of his car, and from the delights of Knockhill, it's the disappointments here at Brands Hatch for the veteran. And Rob Huff having got that 3rd place now, and Thompson now got the inside line for surtees. This could be Thompson through. Yes, he's got the line this time, and James Thompson takes 4th.
Oh, as Chilton tries to get up the inside but doesn't manage it.
Whoa, and the Peugeot's out. That's Richard Marsh in the number 40 car. So Plato is comfortably leading this race again. There's a look back at Luke Hines. He's currently running in 10th place. But remember, the lineup for race 3 this afternoon is as they finish this 2nd race. There's no reverse grid going on. So whoever wins this race will end up on pole position for the 3rd race of the day. And you can see the orange car of Dan Eves, again putting a bit of pressure on Ivan Muller. Muller having been beaten. Oh, Muller's a bit wide.
Muller's wide, and Eves has got an overlap. Can he get it up alongside before Muller pulls over? I think he can.
Don't forget, Muller's carrying a lot of ballast in this race, and this is the effect. When he loses momentum, he can't stop going backwards because the other cars without much ballast are in a better situation. He comes back down the inside. Oh, he's having to work so hard at this, but Eves will have a go at getting back alongside towards surtees. Muller defends that position, and Muller carrying 30 kilos of ballast is finding it very hard work out there. But onto the last lap go the race leaders. It's Plato from Turkington and Rob Huff. That's the top three, and the question really is, can Rob Huff do anything here to take second place? He's going to have a try, I'm sure, but Turkington has it covered.
Plato's got this one in the bag, but Huff isn't finished. He'd love to make it yet another say out 1-2, pick up a bit of bonus money. He's not finished yet. His last chance is going to be up the inside into Clearways, but I'm absolutely sure that Turkington's going to cover it, and Turkington has almost caught up with the back of Plato, but I'm sure Plato's just bringing this one home nicely.
Yeah, he's just got to get through the final corner here. Turkington, is he going to get a push from Huff? No, that's where Turkington was pushed by Bentwood earlier on today. But out of the last corner, it's win number 6 of the season for Jason Plato. An absolutely superb performance. Once again, race 2 is Plato territory, there's no doubt. Turkington takes second, Huff takes third, James Thompson takes fourth. Ben to Jason. Jason, many congratulations, another victory.
It's getting good, this, wasn't it? I have to say, big thanks to the team, really. I know I've thanked them every time, but we were in trouble after the first race. We had a lot of understeer in the car, and Eddie Inksley, my engineer, and the mechanics did a fabulous job, and we took a bit of a gamble and changed quite a few things on the car. And I have to say, it was superb. The car was great for the first few laps, so yeah, another win.
So that gives Jason Plato pole position for race 24 of the championship, alongside him Colin Turkington. Then Rob Huff and James Thompson is carrying 9 kilograms. Matt Neal and James Kay are each a little bit lighter. Ivan Muller is minus 21 kilograms on the 4th row and has ground to make up.
And it's Jason Plato versus Colin Turkington on the front row of the grid. Wait for the lights to come on and then to go out, and we'll be racing. And it's a good start from Turkington and from James Thompson. Thompson makes a great start from the 2nd row of the grid, but it's the MG, the black and silver MG of Colin Turkington that leads. Here comes Matt Neal trying to go around the outside in the orange Honda, but he can't get past the Seat, and Jason Plato takes third. Rob Huff is in 4th as Matt Neal tries to go around the outside at the hairpin. That's pretty brave. It can get terribly slippery out there on the edge of the track, and Kay trying to follow him through. Oh, Matt Neal on the grass, but he cannot get past those two. Jason Hughes there giving Luke Hines a little tap as they came through Graham Hill Bend, and the battle for the lead. James Thompson on the inside into Surtees, side by side. Oh, wonderful racing. Vauxhall versus MG. MG on the inside. Turkington still has it, but Thompson will go all the way with him. Through Clearways they come. They're still side by side. Turkington's car carrying ballast, remember, may not be so fast onto the straight, and Thompson's trying to take the lead here in terms of the championship. It's crucial that he gets in front, but he's not got the overlap, and he's got to watch out because Jason Plato's right there in 3rd place. What a first lap.
That was an incredible lap of touring car driving with Turkington and Thompson side by side for over half a lap, and that's the view from Plato's car. From Thompson's car right up behind. He's now got Plato tucked in 3rd place. Plato so far hanging on to these two very well.
Yeah, these three may begin to, but look at Bentwood behind them. Michael Bentwood's had a brilliant start. James Kay on the grass. He got a tap from somebody. I'm not quite sure what happened, but I think he's rejoined. The leaders come into Clearways. Thompson. Oh, look at Plato. He's doing what he did to Turkington. Right over the curve on the inside. He's done it. He's done it again for the 2nd time today. He's used that line into Clearways. He clambered over the curve to avoid too much contact, but now the lighter Vauxhall has the edge down the straight, but Plato's got the inside line for Paddock Hill Bend, and it's Plato who holds on to 2nd place. Thompson's down to 3rd, and Michael Bentwood still running brilliantly in 4th ahead of Ivan Muller and Matt Neal.
Plato got up the inside, his favourite place to pass, that is. He's got a bit of an overlap, and the Seat, even with weight, is quick.
What a move that is from Plato. He just doesn't break going into Clearways, and he gets up the inside before the other car even knows it's there. It's fantastic racing. We're looking at the view from James Thompson's car, and Plato's through. Plato's taken the lead despite carrying ballast. He's got in front of Colin Turkington. Look behind. Ivan Muller trying to make a move there on Thompson. Thompson had it covered. Meanwhile, Rob Huff in the silver and yellow Seat trying to go around the outside of Michael Bentwood and not quite able to manage it. He's got the 2nd orange Honda of Dan Eaves behind him, and then it's Luke Hines the third of the Vauxhalls, the works Vauxhalls, but Jason Plato using that line at clearways to perfection. Turkington has to keep an eye on his mirrors because Thompson is now getting closer and closer as they head down the Brabham Straight. Again, up to about 130 miles an hour here, then onto the brakes, through the plunging Paddock Hill corner. Look how he closes up through the corner, but can he get to the inside? No, he can't. What he's looking to do there. Oh, and Bentwood and Huff make contact. Bentwood's on the grass. Can he stop in time? Oh, he did brilliantly to keep it on the island, because it looked to me for a moment as he was heading for the gravel trap.
Yeah, just for his pleasures, he got a whack, I think, from Dan Eaves as he came back on, but brilliant car control, did very well to hold it, and obviously here Rob Huff disputing that track on the way up the hill to Druids.
Muller's gone down the inside. Oh, it's tight there, but once again he's not quite through. Thompson's going to have to be quick to cover the inside. He is, and as we look at it now, Muller is trying to go around the outside at the hairpin, with Matt Neal in the Honda also trying to follow him.
Well, that was close at the fastest part of the track there through Paddock Hill Bend. Muller just rubbing on the back of Thompson, and that will certainly get Thompson's blood boiling. He doesn't want that. Here we go. It's a late lunge up the inside, gets a bit of an overlap, then I think backs out of the manoeuvre, but just a little bit of contact, and both drivers doing well to cover that move and stay on the track.
Great example, perhaps. Look at this, of Muller now getting down the inside, but these two have so much respect for each other, and you could really see that in that move, but now Muller's got the advantage. Thompson cannot afford to let Muller beat him here. They're still side by side as they go into Paddock Hill Bend. Muller's got the advantage. Thompson's going to have to be careful, otherwise he'll lose the place to Matt Neal behind him, and Matt Neal's on the inside of Thompson here. Matt Neal's going to go through, he's going to follow Ivan Muller, and so's Rob Huff. So Thompson could be in big trouble here. He's got the inside line for the next left-hander, but Thompson has lost 2 places on half a lap.
Yeah, slight mistake from Thompson there. He let Muller get up the inside along the start-finish line, and then perhaps foolishly tried to go around the outside of him with Paddock, and all that did was allow Matt Neal to cut back underneath him on the run up the hill to Druids. So perhaps he would have been better off giving up that position and saving himself losing 2.
Ferry Kerryman we saw in the pits in the Proton, looks as though he's not going any further, but Thompson still under pressure here from Rob Huff as they come across the line, and Thompson having dropped to 5th place now. It means that the championship lead will go back to Ivan Muller if things stay as they are. You're on board Ivan Muller's car as he comes to the outside, does he? Yes, he's forced to the outside by Turkington taking the tight line. Oh, there was contact almost between them, and it's through goes Matt Neal. So Matt Neal gets through as a result of Muller trying to get Turkington, and there's tyre smoke coming off Turkington's car, and Matt Neal's got past both of them.
Well, Muller went to the outside of Turkington. Turkington took his line, and of course that made sure there was contact on the approach. Well, there's more contact there, but it was a perfect opportunity for Matt Neal to get through into second, and now we'll see whether he can close down on leader Plato.
And Huff has got past Thompson as well, just behind that. Oh, and off has gone Richard Marsh, one of the privateers. Across the line, and Matt Neal 0.4 of a second faster than Jason Plato on that lap, as meanwhile they're side by side again into Paddock Hill Bend, and this time Muller has got past Turkington. So Muller ahead of Turkington. Turkington now trying to defend from Rob Huff, and Muller now into 3rd position as a result of that. So the reigning champion, the Frenchman, the star of ice racing in France in the winter months, but the star of British touring cars over recent summers as well, finally wrapped up the title for the first time last year. He's got himself there into 3rd position, and his big championship rival James Thompson is still languishing down in 6th behind Turkington and Rob Huff in car number 12.
Well, Rob Huff will be all over the back of Turkington now. You can see the Seat holding a tight line on the exit there. He has got a good engine in that Seat, and he's all over Turkington. But in front of these two, you've got Matt Neal wringing the neck of his little Honda, trying to catch up. And again, a faster lap than Plato. Huff is a tiger. He's trying to get the overlap. It's so hard. Yes, he's done it. Yes, he's done it. Yes, he has definitely got an overlap. That was close. Turkington thought about closing the door on him, but that wouldn't have been a wise move on Huff. But will Thompson get through as well? I think he will.
Yeah, Turkington goes wide, and that's put Huff into 4th place and Thompson into 5th, and here comes Bentwood going for it as well. Bentwood squeezes through. That was a bit of a risky manoeuvre. He's on the grass coming out, and there's Anthony Reid joining in. Reid, who started at the very back of the grid, and Anthony Reid inside the top 10, and he's gained another place there. This is a fantastic performance from Anthony Reid, whose championship hopes have really been slipping here today. Now he's got to get past Bentwood, and remember, he's got to keep it clean as well. Plato coming around to complete his 23rd lap, 5 laps to go. Matt Neal still second. Ivan Muller is in 3rd place. Then it's Huff, then it's Thompson, then it's this battle. Bentwood versus Reid for 6th place. Oh, Thompson in the gravel there, coming out of paddock.
Well, can you believe it? All the hard work done, gains the positions, and now he's giving it away. This could be a crucial moment in the championship. Oh, and James Kay has gone straight on at the top of the hill. Everything's unfolding in these last 5 laps.
It has all changed as Thompson has dropped a number of places. James Kay off, and we're surely going to see the safety car come out, because that's in quite a difficult position on the exit of the hairpin. We'll wait and see. No confirmation of that yet. Yes. Now we see the boards come out. Will they come across the line this time? Is it just going to be the 1 lap? I think it is. We'll see. We've got the lap counter in front of us, actually. Yes, they've just put it down to 1 now across from our commentary position. So it's the 1 lap. It's a 1 lap shootout for the win in race 3 here at Brands Hatch, and it's Jason Plato who blasts away. Matt Neal and Ivan Muller go with him. And Ivan Muller's been in this situation before with a late race restart. Oh, and Plato sideways. Matt Neal and Muller comes through. Muller's up the inside, and it's the Frenchman who's going to take advantage of all this. Ivan Muller, but he's run wide. He's in trouble.
That's Rob Huff in the lead. Rob Huff is about to win his first ever touring car race. What a fantastic, it's all going now. Muller sideways again. Reid is out on the grass.
They're all over the place. They're all desperate on this last lap. And Rob Huff is going to win his first British touring car race in the Seat. He was driver of the day here at Brands earlier on this season, and he has emerged from chaos on the last lap to take his first ever win. The 24-year-old from Newmarket has won here at Brands Hatch. 2nd place goes to Jason Plato. 3rd goes to Michael Bentwood. He got 3rd. And his father in the middle there in the white shirt, he must be so proud.
After one of the most amazing laps of the season, the championship was still in the balance. But this day belonged again to Seat and, above all, Rob Huff.
Tell us about that last lap. It was unreal.
On the restart, I think Matt got past. Matt made a move on Jason. They both got turned around. Muller went up the inside of Jason, out-braked himself. I went up the inside and cruised home. Unbelievable.
Absolutely brilliant. Well done, you.
Unreal.
Well done.
At Snetterton, the Btcc was building up to its climax. Thompson and Muller were neck and neck, but mathematically, Plato and Reid could still take the title. Or could they?
To be where we are with, 5 DNFs, I'm pretty pleased, really. 3rd in the championship is possible. It'll be very tough to get that, and even though mathematically a win is on, it's not going to happen. And then it was never our game plan.
The reliability of the Vauxhalls. Jimmy and Ivan know what it takes. They know they've got to just pick up the points. They're not going to stick their necks on the line. Yeah, they've got to beat each other, but they're going to be 1 and 2.
Let's hope they can keep it clean as we get all set for the start of round 25 of the Green Flag MSA British Touring Car Championship. Away we go to good start from poleman Thompson. Thompson initially away well. Ivan Muller has to slot into 2nd place behind him. Then it's the Honda of Tom Chilton, a black car, and Matt Neal on the inside. Matt Neal holds on to 3rd. Chilton is in 4th place. The 2 MGs trying to get up there as well. And everybody's got off the start line safely, I think, this time, and through Riches cleanly. And Jason Plato has started from pit lane.
No question, if James Thompson was a drag racing expert, we'd say he had the best reaction time. I watched his car jump off the grid as soon as those lights went out. He got the initial drag, a perfect start for him. Muller probably okay in 2nd, Matt Neal in 3rd, positions as per the grid.
Down the inside, Carl Breeze trying to make a move there. I hope they don't run out of space. Sometimes it can get a bit tight coming through the S's. Thompson still leads from Ivan Muller. In third place is Matt Neal, then Tom Chilton. It's Anthony Reid and Colin Turkington then in the 2 MGs, with Dan Eves running 7th, Rob Collard in 8th, Luke Hines in 9th, and Rob Huff is in 10th place. Good start that from Rob Huff. We're riding with Matt Neal in the dice for 2nd as they come through Russell Chicane. That's the slowest corner on the circuit. About 50 miles an hour through there. Huff! I'm sure that's Rob Huff that's off. And he had got up to 10th place, but now he's lost all of that ground.
Well, that's a disaster. He had a really good start. Here we see a replay. We're coming round Coram. Oh, and he's had a touch from James Kay. Got out onto the marbles. Absolutely no chance.
This is the race for 3rd place. He's right down the inside into the bomb hole. Oh, you never go through there. But Tom does. He's gone down the inside. And Tom Chilton has moved into 3rd place, passing Ivan Muller.
Yeah, and with a big oversteer there in the middle of Coram at 100 miles an hour, we can see he's driving on the maximum. That was good to move over. He passed. Oh no, don't start doing that, Tom. As soon as you get the car sliding over, you're like that, you'll slow out the corner. But a very brave move down the inside of the bomb hole, and Muller sensibly, and perhaps he obligated to give him room, bearing in mind his championship position.
Oh, and contact between Watson Smith and Stefan Hodgetts. Oh, he nearly goes over. That was on the approach to the bomb hole.
Well, I suppose Watson Smith would say that was payback to Stefan Hodgetts for trying to put him in the pit wall at Brands Hatch, but we didn't see the start of that, but that could have been very dangerous. The car so near to digging in and rolling over, could have been a huge accident.
There's race leader James Thompson, Matt Neal in the orange Honda, running in a clear 2nd place, Chilton in 3rd, but what about 4th place? Turkington now, with a chance of taking the inside line into the S's. Muller still battling, but how hard is he prepared to fight it? He still has the inside line. No, Turkington's taken it.
Well, that was some desperately late braking. It looked like they were going to go around the first part of the corner side by side. Oh, there's dirt on the track there. They both caught it. Wow, big. Has Muller got a chance back up the inside in the corner? No, I don't think so. Yes, good driving by both of them, particularly Turkington, to break that lane and get in front.
But here comes James Thompson to take his 4th victory of the season, his 1st win since Silverstone in May. It's been a long time since Vauxhall have won a race, but finally they've done it.
How important will that win prove for James Thompson come the end of the season, with Van Muller back in 5th? James Kay and Luke Hines, who finished 9th and 10th, complete the front row for round 26.
So we're all set for the 2nd race of the day here at Stetson. The lights go out. Who makes the best start? Good start from Rob Collard and from Anthony Reid, but Luke Hines gets away from pole position. The youngster doing a fantastic job there, and it's Anthony Reid who's moving up into 2nd. Everybody's punching behind. It's all getting a bit close there. Matt Neal in the middle of that pack. Colin Turkington right there too. Thompson's not away very well. I saw Plato already ahead of Thompson, and James Kay down the inside. It's getting a bit close as they go through Sear, and Rob Huff comes out, and so does John George. John George on the grass.
Well, it's already kicked off in this 2nd race, hasn't it? It only took 2 corners. Somebody was off in the 1st corner, and then 2 more at the 2nd. It was actually off the start line. That's Richard Marsh. He spun out in the 1st race. Let's hope he can get going. A great start by Luke Hines, and Reid was able to slot through from the 2nd row and get there. But it was actually from the outside of the front row, James Kay that got a miserable start, and that blocked off Collard as well, and everybody on the outside of the grid was slow away. Luke Hines is doing a good job actually so far this race. He's made a good start, he's got into a rhythm, and he's got the opportunity to build on that lead if he can, but don't discount. Well, Reid has closed up dramatically on that lap, and straight away as I say that, he's on his bumper, and now we'll see what Hines is made of.
Yeah, Luke Hines must have made a little mistake somewhere, but no, Reid can't afford to do much because Muller's on the inside. Oh, at Coram they touch. Surely there was a touch. Reid was sideways. Muller's now got the inside line, and he's going to take 2nd place here from Anthony Reid. Muller goes 2nd. It's still Luke Hines leading, but the Frenchman's now moved up 1, and Thompson is still down in 10th.
Well, that called on Anthony Reid's car control skills par excellence in that fast 105, 110 mile an hour corner, and he won't thank Muller for giving him a tap on the way in. Granted, he didn't give it much room, but these two have a lot of history behind them, so I think Reid will be looking to fight back.
Yes, indeed. Look at behind there. James Kay making contact with Dan Eves. Oh, it all goes wrong. Eves is spun out. That started at the previous corner. James Kay and Dan Eves banging doors there as they came out of Riches. and they pay the price as they come through Sear. It's still Luke Hines who leads this race, but Eves now out of the challenge for 4th place. That's where he was running. No longer, I'm afraid.
Well, poor Dan Eves, he was actually spun out at the end by his own teammate Matt Neal, but totally blameless. Oh, look at this! Oh, and Luke Hines has gone wide.
I saw the oil flag there, Tim. That's what's happened. They're all hitting oil.
Yeah, you're right. There's oil down. Luke Hines went wide. He's now got dirt on his tyres.
Well, coming through out of Coram now, and Anthony Reid back into 2nd place. Ivan Muller back down to 3rd. It's all changed again. 4th place is Turkington. So Colin Turkington has come up from 8th place last time around into 4th position as they come across this line again, and the completion of 4 laps. Where do we look next?
Well, it could well be that there's a lot of mud and dirt down at that Esses. There's always a lot of action there. These cars do take a lot of curb and a lot of grass, and this time of the year with it all dry, it brings on a lot of dust and dirt, and that's just enough. Well, we're seeing a replay here of the Kay and Eves incident. Kay gets up the inside, pushes Eves out just as Matt Neal's turning in, and it taps Eves into a spin.
There is Plato, and Plato is catching Muller now. Grudge match or what? Ivan Muller and Jason Plato, they had a coming together. That was across the grass. Matt Neal, by the way, there, just coming through Russell. So he's lost a bit more time. But they hit each other at France last time out, these two. They've hit each other in the past, and back in 2001, when Plato won the championship, they came together here at Snetterton, and the S's both were flying across the grass. They both survived it, but here comes Plato now, challenging Muller. Muller comes across, but Plato's got the inside line. Nothing he can do, and Plato's into 3rd place.
Well, that time it was very clean, but maybe it's not quite over yet as Muller fights back, but he's on the outside. Certainly Muller ran into Riches a little bit quick. That's twice he's done that this meeting, once in qualifying, once in the first race. Plato, the opportunist, straight up the inside. Now it's a battle of the late breakers into the S's. This is going to be so close, you can go around the outside. Muller's done it, great late braking. The touring cars slightly better brakes than the ETC's cars, and Muller needed every little ounce of braking there to get around the outside of Plato, so he'll have to start that fight back again.
We're looking at the back of Matt Neal's car from Tom Chilton's Honda, and Tom, of course, had a great run in the first race of the day, finished 3rd. Now he's a bit stuck down there. Plato and Muller are at it again, and trying to get in there is Turkington.
Oh, that was every lap through Riches and into Sear. It seems to be there's a lot of action. Muller was holding this whole gang of cars up, and it's resulted in Plato getting back through into the lead, and this time he's got enough of a gap on Muller. He should be able to brake and stay in front.
So Jason Plato this time is up into 3rd place. Ivan Muller cannot challenge once again into the S's, I don't think. There's no room here. Almost touching the back bumper of the Seat. How much closer can the Frenchman get? But behind him is the black MG of Colin Turkington. Then a tiny gap back to James Kay, Rob Collard and James Thompson. And Muller needs to stay with Plato here to see whether they can close that gap up that's opened up to Anthony Reid running in 2nd, and race leader, who's doing a fantastic job so far, and that's Luke Hines. James Thompson, though, somewhat further back still. He's running in 8th place, and he is stuck. He can't repeat the sort of performance we saw in race 1 from Thompson, simply, Tim, presumably because of the amount of ballast that he's got to carry.
Absolutely. The weight is so critical to these cars when they're on such a fine performance level. You know, 20, 30, 40 kilos makes all the difference. And yes, it certainly spices up the racing for us, even if the drivers don't like it. But it's the same rules for everyone, so grin and bear it, chaps, and just get on with it.
I think, Matt Neal's getting on with it, but he's going off. And he's got damage to the front of that car.
Looks like he's gone straight on down at the end of the straight of the S's, probably elected to go straight across the grass and not realised how bumpy it is. Yeah, he's gone straight, may even have had a puncture. He had damage to that left front already. No, the tyre looks intact, but that is so bumpy, that infield section, that he really should have gone straight on when he realised he couldn't make it and just go up the escape road. Well, he tried, didn't he, but didn't make it.
I think Luke Hines, going on to his final lap, has enough of a gap here over Reid not to worry, but Plato might put in a last lap charge to try and wrest 2nd position as Muller and Turkington, you just can't separate these two.
Now, you'd think there was a tow line between them, wouldn't you? There's the amount of... Well, this could help give Turkington a better run onto the straight. If he times it right, he'll get a good run through the corner there. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. It may be a little bit too early, but when you get the slipstream, seemed like he almost had to back out of it then, but Muller's defending the right-hand side. We haven't seen him go down there, so he knows that Turkington's close.
Yeah, here we go then into the S's. This is where Turkington's had a look a few times, but not close enough. And as they come through the S's. It's still Muller, still almost pushed around by Turkington. We're running out of time now. Turkington needs to do something a little wide there from Muller. Not really a problem though, just Coram and Russell to go. Now you can sometimes be very brave and break down the inside here. I'm not sure he's going to have time. Luke Hines emerges from the last corner. He's going to take the win. Muller, I think, is going to hold on to fourth. Luke Hines will take his second win of the season here at Snetterton. Second place goes to the MG of Anthony Reid. Third place goes to Jason Plato. Fourth goes to Ivan Muller.
We've not seen you on the top step of the podium for a few months.
No, since first race at Brands Hatch.
That was a nice, clean and tidy race for you.
Yeah, I managed to keep in front. Got a really good start. So that was what I was dreading, big time. It's getting the start, because lately I haven't been doing good starts. And I actually got a good start, got a gap, and just managed to, fight to death to keep it in front.
So James Thompson just inching away from Ivan Muller in the championship, but there were still lots of points to play for, starting with round 27, the climax of the day's racing at Snetterton. Luke Hines on pole position for this race, Anthony Reid with a useful second place. Jason Plato and Ivan Muller just behind them on the second row. Then Colin Turkington and James Kay come next. Then James Thompson on row 4 with 15 kilograms shed.
It's 16 laps once again of the 1.9-mile track. Away we go, and it is a good start from Muller. Ivan Muller makes a scorching start from the second row, and it's Muller who gets ahead as they head towards riches for the first time. Rob Huff is going with him. Where did Rob Huff come from? Because that was a very quick start from Rob Huff, I think. And Muller now trying to defend as they head up towards Sear, and Huff's trying to go through on the inside. I'm not quite sure how he managed that, but Huff somehow has emerged leading as they head down the Brevet Straight.
Well, I said look out for Rob Huff. He was on the outside, got a brilliant drive. Luke Hines held up the inside of the row by not getting a good start, and Huff was away like a shot. Brilliant.
So it's Rob Huff that leads, Ivan Muller in second place, Reid and Thompson. Thompson trying to go around there at the S's but couldn't make it. Hines is now behind Thompson. Thompson has to go through here trying to make up some ground. What's going on there? Oh, wide line there from Anthony Reid. That might give Thompson the chance to go through. But it's Rob Huff, the winner from Brands Hatch, that leads. Ivan Muller in second. Reid under pressure from Thompson. Will Thompson go for the move into Russell? No, he doesn't. So there's a gap developing between the top two and the race that's going on for third between Reid, Thompson, Hines and Tom Chilton, who also got away well.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting battle this between Muller and Huff. Muller said in the last race he was paddling with the extra ballast on. He said he was going to put the sails up and race this time.
Look behind him though, Reid crossing over to the inside to defend from Thompson. Thompson can see the top two getting away, and he wants to get past Reid here as quickly as possible. Now James is on the inside, he outbreaks the MG, and as long as he doesn't run too wide on the exit here, he's up into third place, and now heading down the Brevet Straight, building up to 140 miles an hour. You're riding with Tom Chilton, who's in sixth place, right behind race 2 winner Luke Hines. Towards the S's they come, and look at Huff and Muller still very close, but now Thompson with the task of closing that gap.
Thompson will try very hard to at least keep Muller honest and catch up a little bit. I think these early laps are decisive when you've got the weight ballast coming into play with the cars at the front starting heavy. You don't want to be stuck behind them for too long, so Thompson will be pleased to get past Reedy so quickly.
Yes, and that means he's only one place behind his big championship rival, Ivan Muller. Further back you can see Turkington in the pack, so's Dan Eves, Rob Collard, and Matt Neal has done well, because Matt Neal started way down and he's in 11th place already, but he's now behind Rob Collard, and James Thompson found it a tough task to get past Rob Collard in the previous race.
Collard is a very wide driver if he needs to be. He's got a stock car racing background. He knows how to keep Hill behind, but Matt Neal looking up the inside. We'll have to see if he got through. Well, Collard's out wide. He'll shut the door. Look at that. I told you he was aggressive, but I think Neal's cleanly up the inside. He still needs to get a good exit out onto the long Reddit straight. He looks to have done that without running wide. So yes, he's through.
Yeah, that brings him into 9th place. So Matt Neal, having started way back on the 9th row of the grid in 18th place, is now up to 9th already. That's a good effort, but look at Luke Hines and Tom Chilton racing side by side. Chilton with a... Oh, no, they've tangled. Hines and Chilton tangle as they come into the S's there. Chilton's on the grass as a result, and what a disappointment, because they were racing hard there for 5th place.
Look at Ivan, how relaxed is that? Both hands off the wheel, little stretch of the arm. How relaxed is he feeling? Well, Rob Huffy's driving for a job next year. He doesn't have a contract with Seat. Seat are keeping former champion Plato and the newly crowned Seat Cupra Cup champion James Pickford. They desperately want to run a third car. They'd be mad to let this man go. Here's Matt Neal having a go. He's good on the brakes here. I think he's done it. Can he hold it in tight? Yes, he can, and get a good exit. Good move by Matt Neal. That takes some guts to do that coming round after the 110-mile-an-hour corner at Coram, and his teammate now seems to be reinvigorated, having seen Matt go past. He'll try the same manoeuvre. Yeah,
up towards Riches, but Reed makes sure he has the inside line. He'll force Dan to go the long way round. Not going to be easy to do that, but Reed does look as though he may be struggling a little bit now as they come round there on their final lap. Thompson, is he going to try anything spectacular on this last lap to take second place? Surely neither of them are going to catch the yellow and silver car ahead. That is Rob Huff, and he is going to take his second win in 2 meetings. What a remarkable turn of fortune and of skill for Rob Huff, because he won at Brands in an opportunist piece of overtaking, but this time he has led it pretty much from the start. A remarkable getaway off the line, and ever since then he's been in front, he's been in control. Muller's not been able to find a way past him. Thompson's just been stuck behind Muller, hasn't been able to get through either, and it's Rob Huff now who's only got the final corner to go to take his second win of the season. Rob Huff from nearby Newmarket comes through to win the 3rd race of the day at Snetterton. Beautifully driven. Second place goes to Ivan Muller. 3rd goes to James Thompson.
Another win for Rob Huff, as Ivan Muller edged it to finish a place ahead of his Vauxhall rival. It's been a mixed day though for James Thompson.
James, you managed to get the lap record, so well done on that one, but maybe not quite so well done for finishing behind Ivan.
Yeah, disappointed with that. In terms of the weekend, we've turned a points deficit into a points advantage, so that's all you can really hope for. But the second race was a bit frustrating, and the 3rd race, a lot of work to do from 7th. To get up to 3rd, you work hard, getting past people, consequently you work the tyres hard. But car wasn't quite as good in the 3rd race. But at the end of the day, like I say, the main thing, all I'm bothered about is the championship. Winning a race here and there. The main thing is for me to keep ahead of Ivan, and that's all I'm really interested in.
You're making a bit of a habit of this, aren't you?
Oh, what a weekend. 2 weekends in a row, with Brands Hatch and now coming into my home circuit. Struggled madly all weekend with the extra weight we've had and just the setup in general, and then made a bit of a tweak on the last race there. It was the tiniest little thing, and just completely transformed the car, and storming.
So still 4 points separating the 2 Vauxhall drivers, which meant the championship once again was going all the way to the wire. Even Anthony Reid had an outside chance. All eyes now down to Donington Park. So for the 3rd season running, it was down to the last meeting, and just like last year, it was Muller versus Thompson. Thompson, though, had the edge going into Donington.
I've won a race already here this year in the European Championship, so it's got fond memories for me. I started my Jim Russell racing career here when I was very small, so it does have fond memories, and there'd be no better place to clinch the championship if we do than here.
It's always difficult to fight for the championship at the last race, especially when it's your teammate, because first it's the same car of you, it's the same color, so you can't do anything bad. And also is, I think, my philosophy to not do it, especially between 2 cars of the same team.
I was a little bit grieved with some of the tactics he employed a little bit earlier on, and fair enough. I've not made good that yet. So at the end of the day, he knows that he's got it coming in that respect. You can't dish it out one way and not expect it the other way.
Let's go racing. The lights go out. Oh, it's a bad start from Plato. Dreadful getaway. Matt Neal makes an excellent start this time. And James Thompson comes up in a second trying to block Muller, who's trying to come down by the grass there. Plato right in the middle of it all. And as they go through Redgate, Plato's trying to go around the outside of Thompson and Muller. Oh, and off goes Stefan Hodgett, squeezed out in the usual barging match through Redgate. The leader's broken away though. It is Matt Neal. He might not have got it right on his outlap, but he's got it right this time.
Plato very lucky to be in third place. Oh, and there's contact between Thompson and Neal. Neal saves it. He may lose second place as well, and third and fourth.
Goodness me, that could have been the end of Thompson's chances. Well, not quite the end, but it could have been big trouble. Damage to several of the cars further back, but Thompson has taken the lead. And now Ivan Muller wants to try and get past Jason Plato. Well, oh, Collard in trouble there. That's with Matt Neal. And Rob Collard further down than expected after a good qualifying performance. And Matt Neal is furious. He will have felt that he got pushed out of the way there by James Thompson, and he wants to get back on terms with the leaders now. And Matt Neal fired up. Well, that will be a sight to see. It was a door missing, I thought it was, from Hodgett's car. Thompson leads, Plato in second, and Muller in third.
Watch how much of the inside this chicane they cut. There may be markers up for one lap, but those posts get knocked down. Look, Matt Neal side by side with Tom Chilton. He's going to force him wide. Matt doesn't like to be shoved around, and that was quite unlike James Thompson, but he obviously means business.
He does today, and Plato's gone for it. Plato down the inside into Redgate. What a manoeuvre. And Muller's now. Oh, there's contact between the two Vauxhalls. And Thompson doesn't want to let Muller through, and they are leaning on each other, and there are no promises, and no, the gloves are off here this time between Thompson and Muller's on the grass. Muller's back on. Oh, is he not going to make the corner? He's on the grass and through the gravel, trying to get back on. You're riding with Muller, and what a ride it is as the Frenchman tries to rejoin. My goodness, it is a real battle now, and Thompson is not about to be beaten, but he's got to watch out. He's now got Colin Turkington trying to pass.
What an incredible manoeuvre that was. Started off with Plato going down the inside of Thompson and Muller trying to take advantage. Here comes Muller back on the track. He looks cool, but believe me, inside that helmet, he's furious. Turkington now alongside Thompson. Thompson does seem to be struggling just a little bit in this race, and look at the lead that Plato's inherited now.
This is all good news for Jason Plato. Turkington now trying to take second from Thompson, and he does so in quite a straightforward manner. Then it's Benchwood running very well at the lead of the next group. Anthony Reid is right behind him. Then it's Luke Hines and Dan Eves. And look at where Ivan Muller is. He's way down. Oh, great chance for Reid. Reid has managed to get past Matt Neal as well, and past Luke Hines. James Kay and Tom Chilton are right there. James Kay on the outside, Tom Chilton in a black Honda at the back of this group. And look behind, Muller with his lights on is trying to get past Sean Watson-Smith behind this group as well. And it's all beginning to happen. Now Muller's past Watson-Smith, so Muller is up to 11th place, and there with 5 laps to go, Muller is only 1 place away now from taking pole position from race number 2. And will all these guys make it to the end anyway? That's the other big question. Jason Plato leads by a full 5.7 seconds over Colin Turkington. There is our race leader, and just look at the gap back to Turkington and Thompson, and off has gone Matt Neal, and that means that Ivan Muller is 10th. Ivan Muller is 10th because Matt Neal is out of this. What a drama. Ivan Muller is now lined up for pole position in race 2 if he stays where he is, and that is extremely significant. And Thompson is still trying to get past Turkington. There is Muller then, and he's right behind Dan Eves with Watson-Smith now down in 10th place. Now Muller should just stay here if I was you. Ivan, just stay there. It's a front row start for race number 2. Here comes Thompson. Thompson now making a move on Colin Turkington to reclaim second place. They'll be coming across the line to complete 14 laps out of 16 this time. Has Thompson timed it right, or will Turkington come back at him again? It is amazing, just like last year, these two. Hammer and tongs together. Benwood in 4th place, and Anthony Reid still in 5th. Jason Plato here will start from 10th place, but he won't mind. It's another victory to add to his tally. He's had 6 wins already this season, and he's coming around now to the last corner. It's the chicane for the last time, and Jason Plato is going to win his 7th win of the season. What a fantastic performance from Plato from pole position. He made the moves. He made a poor start, but he made the moves to get ahead, and it's another victory for Seat. Second does go to James Thompson. Third goes to Colin Turkington. Benwood looks happy in 4th, wiggling the car across the line.
Jason Plato's 7th win, but it's advantage James Thompson as The Btcc moves to its final 2 races. Ivan Muller is 13 points behind and needs a result.
It's every man for himself as the penultimate round of the British Touring Car Championship is ready to go around the Donington Park circuit in Leicestershire. The red lights go off quickly, and it's a good start from Rob Huff, and Ivan Muller making a good start, coming down the outside. Thompson's on the grass on the inside. Who's going to be first into Redgate? Muller's trying to go around the outside here. He's into second, and Tom Chilton is pushed back to third. Gavin Piper slow away, I'm afraid, but Ivan Muller is into second, or is he? Because the black Honda of the youngster Tom Chilton's right there, and Chilton's moved into second place now, trying to give him space. And as they head down towards the old hairpin, Muller finds himself in third position. Huff was a bit wide. Oh, and he's very wide. Huff lost time there, and Chilton's going to take the lead. Chilton going side by side with Huff, and Muller's watching this, wondering where to go next.
Well, great start. Chilton's made up for a slightly poor start by getting back past Muller. Muller up the inside of Huff as well. Huff's going to lose out to Dan Eaves as well and go down to fourth place. So at the moment, Chilton leads from a brilliant start from Muller and Eaves, looking very pacey. Rob Huff, what's going wrong?
And look at James Thompson was a little bit behind that as Muller now tries to squeeze out Dan Eaves. Oh, he doesn't want the Honda going past, but there's nothing he can do. It's a Honda 1-2 as they come down towards the chicane, and look behind them. Luke Hines next up in fourth place. Muller's back down to third. He could not prevent Dan Eaves coming through, and Eaves, and a spin right in front of Thompson. Thompson goes to the inside. Oh, he just missed his teammate Luke Hines. I think he missed him. I think Thompson got away with that, and Muller's going in there for second. Back into second goes the Frenchman. Dan Eaves pushed to third. Look at Dan Eaves, he's hit Muller! Dan Eaves has hit Ivan Muller for second, and he goes through in a second. Muller will be fuming about that. It was hardly a gap, but Dan Eaves went for it, and Muller, of course, fighting for the championship. He'll be furious, I'm sure, with that, but he's in third place. Well, he wouldn't know that he was furious. A quick glance in the mirror, but Thompson is still in seventh, and here we are, riding on board with James, as Plato goes to the inside, and Reed has a little think about getting down the inside of Plato there, and that's a move from Reed. He squeezes Plato out, and Thompson's going to try and follow him as they come down the hill towards the Craner curves. He has done. He's also got past Plato. Well, there's a bit of a surprise. Now, what's going on here? Muller has got ahead of Dan Eaves, so Muller has got into second position and is now chasing after Tom Chilton. Valuable points there for Ivan Muller gained by going into second.
Well, here's the pass. It's coming up through Coppice, and Dan Eaves runs wide. Muller just gets excellent drive along the inside and drives past him.
And and that's Bentwood. Bentwood in trouble. Oh, and Kay now clouts Huff pretty hard, and Huff's definitely in the wars.
Well, Huff had enough oversteer on his own without that shove from James Kay up the back, and he was really struggling, and now he's lost another position to Hines.
They're going to take it to the wire. It will all come down to the third race, the final race of the British Touring Car Championship. But Tom Chilton, can he hold on here for his second win of the season? He became the youngest ever winner of a British Touring Car race earlier on this year at Silverstone, and driving the Honda, he is going to hold on, I think. Muller's surely not close enough. They come out of the chicane, and it's going to be Tom Chilton who wins the second race here at Donington. Second place goes to Ivan Muller. He maintains his championship hopes.
Muller's second place meant that there was just 6 points going into the final race, and it was also tied for third place between Reed and Plato. It's down once again to the wire in the British Touring Car Championship. Ivan Muller on the front row. Then comes Dan Eaves and Anthony Reed. Then there's James Thompson with 0 ballast, and he needs to finish a place behind Muller to make sure. And remember, there's a point for fastest lap of the race.
Chilton in the black Honda, Muller in the red and white Vauxhall Astra. The red lights are on, and away we go, and it's a very even start from the front row. It's Chilton. Look at Thompson down on the grass there again, trying to nip through on the inside. Tom Chilton makes a brilliant getaway from pole position. The youngster showing no sign of nerves himself, but Muller's trying to go around the outside. Muller being brave as expected, and has he taken the lead as they head down towards the Craners? Well, they're side by side, and Thompson, I think, up into fourth place. Yes, Thompson's up into fourth. fourth. Muller takes the lead. Ivan Muller's where he needs to be. Now it's up to James Thompson. Oh, and Dan Eaves gets past Chilton. Slides down the inside, tyres locked up, and he's through, and Thompson got a knock there. Thompson got a little bit of a knock, but he's up into third.
That was a great start from Tom Chilton, but then it all went wrong. Muller was aggressive down the Craner curves. Thompson made a good start, tried to get round Dan Eaves, but got pushed on the grass. He's now fighting for his position.
Tom Chilton carrying maximum ballast in that Honda, and now he's losing another place to Jason Plato. And Tom knew it would be tough. He got off the line brilliantly, but now he's finding it hard work, and he's got the MGs ganging up on him as well. James Thompson has moved up into third place. Ivan Muller's got the lead of this race, and now it's all about the fight for second. Eaves defending on the middle of the track there, right behind him is Plato. Turkington behind Tom Chilton trying to come through, and here comes James Thompson now. He's got a great chance to take second. He goes to the outside as they head down towards Redgate Corner. About 120 miles an hour, onto the brakes, into the right-hander, but Jason Plato's got an inside line on him as well, and Thompson's going to have to be careful. He runs very wide on the exit.
Well, Jason did give him room. There was an opportunity there for Jason to go out wide. Thompson had no opportunity to get on the inside, and look, Plato has taken that third place.
Interestingly, the fastest lap so far is to our race leader. No surprise there, it's Ivan Muller. Fastest lap is worth a point, that's crucial too. We're back on board with James Thompson as Plato goes alongside Dan Eaves. Eaves in the orange Honda trying to fend off the silver and yellow Seat, but he hasn't done it, although Plato's too late on the brakes, is he? Still holds in great control.
Yeah, he just managed to come off the brakes there and let the car grip. If he'd stayed on the brakes, he'd run out wide. That was great driving by Jason. Muller is making the most of the clear track he's got. Will Thompson be able to get through? Will Plato be able to catch him now in a lighter car?
Oh, this is very tight indeed, as Thompson has to try and find a way past Dan Eaves. Jason Plato now in second place, and James Thompson knows he's got to go for it, and he does go for it. He slips down the inside into the chicane. He moves back into third place now. Dan Eaves in fourth, Chilton in fifth, Colin Turkington in sixth, and Rob Huff in seventh, with Anthony Reid running down in eighth place ahead of Luke Hines. So Thompson now third, but he's got to really get second to make sure of this championship. Somebody's off, and it's Luke Hines who's off. Luke Hines is the third of the VX Racing entries. Well, he's not a factor for the championship, but he was looking for a decent top 10 finish. It all got a bit fraught, and he's off as a result. Let's see if we can find out what happened. Reid was behind him. They were all, it was going into the old hairpin on the brakes.
Yeah, it was defence there by Luke Hines down the Craner curves, gone to the inside, and well, here we are, they're side by side actually, and Luke, does his speed takes him out there. He's on the brakes trying to stop the car. Anthony's really got no choice because he's so close to him that contact was inevitable. Really just a racing incident, I think.
So Ivan Muller leads by 1.6 seconds. Well, it was 1.6. I think it might be a little less than that as they come across the line this time. 1.1. Plato definitely closing up. And it's Thompson now who has set the fastest lap. That is crucial from his point of view because Thompson now claims that point. Muller is the race leader and will get one bonus point for having been a race leader. Anyone who crosses the line ahead. Oh, Bentwood in trouble this time. That's Michael Bentwood, had a good fourth place earlier on.
That's at Redgate. Don't know what's happened there. Obviously an outbraking mover into the first corner. Oh, there's another car off. That's one of the GA cars. That's Carl Breed. Sorry, Gavin Piper.
Yeah, that was all looking very tricky indeed. Michael Bentwood getting into the spin. It was just lucky that everyone else managed to virtually avoid him.
If Plato's got a sniff of his 8th win of the year, he's going to take it, and he won't be too kind to Muller. Muller's, look, he's already up the inside. There could be contact. Oh, that was close. But Plato is not going to be too kind with Muller, and Thompson is just going to sit there and let this play out. Yeah, Thompson will be fairly comfortable with where he is at the moment because he's got the bonus point for the fastest lap already. If he finishes where he is, he would be on 273 points. Plus one, that's 274 as they kick up the dust, and Muller would be on 272, so it would be enough because he's taken fastest lap already for him to stay in third place and to win the championship. There's the characteristic just roll up of the sleeve there and down in towards Redgate. Plato still has another lap and a bit to go to try and nip through and take the lead of this race. 2 more laps now. I think Jason is going to really put the pressure on. he's going to start to really hassle the back end of that Vauxhall of Muller. But Muller is dry. He's so good through these fast corners. He carries so much speed. Car just teetering on the edge, balancing it. You know, if ever you can get a front-wheel drive car to get close to a four-wheel drift, that's your man to do it.
Yeah, it's great stuff. He's been a star to watch over the last few years, the reigning champion, but he's not going to do enough here, I don't think, because Thompson is just playing that patient game in third, doing everything he needs to. That fastest lap is in his pocket, 1:13.706. That's what he needed, just to make sure that Ivan Muller didn't get it. Now, as long as he sits there in third, he will take the title. But what about Jason Plato? Is he going to go for something special on the last lap? Getting tight between them as they come through the chicane this time, and Muller still just managing to hold him off. Is he just a little bit? Oh, it's tight there as they come across the line, and Thompson's got a chance to join in as well as they head down towards Redgate Corner. And now surely Muller's getting a little more anxious as he tries to defend this position.
Well, James Thompson's staying right out of it, isn't he? I'm sure he backed off the throttle there, but he just let these two get on with it.
Last lap then, and Ivan Muller just has to hold off for one more lap, less than a lap, to take his 5th win of the season, but it's not going to be enough to take the championship. Jason Plato will try everything to nip through and take another victory himself. James Thompson still playing the waiting game, still patient. Behind them it's Dan Eames and Rob Huff in 5th place, but he's almost pushing Muller along now, and Muller having to hold the car, trying not to let it get too sideways. It's tough fight, this one, so physical, and Muller just has to get through the final.
Muller was waving his fist, and look at the opposite lock he's got on there. Muller was waving his fist coming up there towards McLean's, between McLean's and Coppice. He was waving his fist. Now the last chance for Plato.
So Plato is going to be forced to go to the outside. Muller will defend, and the champions of 2003, 2001 side by side. It looks like Muller's got it. Muller just in front enough. He's going to take the final win of 2004, but second place goes to Plato, third to James Thompson. It makes James Thompson the 2004 British Touring Car Champion.
Ivan Muller won the battle, but it was James Thompson who won the war. That piece of controlled driving made him the Btcc champion for 2004.
Now then, James, may I give you this trophy? Your name was last on it in 2002. Which is sweeter, now or then?
To be honest with you, I have to say now. I mean, winning it the first time was, unbelievable. But the fight that we've had all year, and take it down to the last race of the year, and to do it on the fastest lap. I knew.
And at one point in it.
Well, that's why I worked so hard in the early part of the race, and then to be honest with you, I just let them get on with it. I just sat there. The car was fantastic, but I was getting all a bit emotional, so I thought I'd better just stay where I am.
Were there any thoughts for Ivan at all?
I mean, it's hard to put into words, how gutted he must feel. I know I'd be absolutely devastated, but what can I say? He's done fantastic well. He'd be gutted, but he's, me and him have been so evenly matched, and I think it's fitting that it's only 1 point. So.
Absolutely, Ivan. If I can just bring you in here, Ivan. Some thoughts for James, maybe?
Yeah, well done. He deserved. It was a great collaboration between us during 3 years. I think we were a part of the level of this team. No, he won 1 point. I think we were very close together until the end. That's life.
C'est la vie. Another fantastic year of action from British touring cars. James Thompson, though, the hero of this season, and it all starts again April next year. Let's hope the French Anglo on-track war continues in 2005.
This is the lineup then. It's John Cleland and Anthony Reid on the front row.
Julian Bailey in there. Patrick Watts right behind. Watch for Patrick. He'll be colourful. Grass, anything he'll use.
On row 3 then, it's Jason Plato and Matt Neal, the current breed.
Yeah, they've got an advantage. Kelvin Burt, he'll be sharp as well. And Johnny Chicotto, well, he's been a real surprise all weekend.
Behind them, we've got Alain Menu, double touring car champion, and Tim Harvey, who's already competed here today.
Frank Bieler, he's sharp. Jeff Allen, still tough, but reckons he's rusty.
And then behind them, we've got Rob Gravett and Frank Sittner, both desperately trying to get used to front-wheel drive.
Yeah, and stay on the track. And Paul Radicic and Gabriele Tarquini, this will be 94, played over again a decade later.
So let's see what happens. And that grid, remember, was being pulled out of the hat. So it's nothing to do with their actual pace. It doesn't give us any indication who's going to be fastest here. You're just going to have to play along and guess with the rest of us as to who's going to be on the pace. They're just lining into position now, and we're getting all set for the start. It's a 20-lap sprint. That's all they get. 20 laps, not much time, but they're going to go for it. We're all set now for the lights to come on. Get the flag from the back, there we are, and 5-second board has been held out. Remember, it's John Cleland in the number 95 car, Anthony Reid in the number 6 car, Julian Bailey in the number 5 car. Oh, and it's a jump start there from Anthony Reid, and now they all get going finally. Well, you'd think that Anthony Reid would know how to get off the line, wouldn't you?
He's trying to make up for missing the bus. That's all I can think of, is they just steam down into Redgate for the first time, and Cleland makes it. Anthony Reid's been swamped, I think.
Yeah, John Cleland, great start from him, but Jason Plato's already getting up on the inside and trying to take second place there. Look, trying to nip through, and I think that,
oh, there's contact.
Oh, that's no surprise there.
Patrick Watts. Patrick Watts on the grass. What did I tell you? That's the neat Patrick Watts. Now, it's not leaving the track that counts, it's where you rejoin. Shut your eyes.
He said he was going to take the straight line route. He's been rallying recently, so he feels more comfortable on the grass.
Oh, stand well back and turn your collar up. This is going to get ugly.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky, this one, but John Cleland is the man who's taken advantage here, and he's going to try and make the most of it. Frank Sittner's at the back at the moment. Jason Plato running in second position. The rest of them up through McLean's. The marker posts are going for a Burton, much as expected. So Plato comes through in second. Tim Harvey's gone well. He's come up to third place, and he started mid-grid. Good effort from Tim.
Well, let's not forget back earlier in the last decade, Tim Harvey and John Cleland, that violent old title chase that they had the year Tim won 92.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you can bet that Tim's going to try and close up to Cleland. Look, there's a little battle going in here as Anthony Reid there managing to make up another position. He got past Matt Neal. Well, these two have had their dices. Remember what happened at Silverstone this year? There was almost a boxing match in the pit lane afterwards, but after they had their incident. And further behind them, we've then got Julian Bailey going well. Johnny Chicotto trying to get past Alain Menu, though. Menu on the inside there. And in the number 97 car, Alain's just got the advantage. Oh, more panel damage. And up the bill.
Oh, look at them. They're bubbling around like lotto balls, all trying to be picked, aren't they? Jumping car after car, side by side, back down the hill. Plato easy to spot in the blue car, up in second place, side by side down the hill there. That's pretty gutsy stuff there. Kelvin Burt just holding off the affections of Chicotto on the way through.
Yeah, Kelvin making up some ground. He's in the number 7 car. Further back you saw Jeff Allen in number 4, but it's Cleland with the early lead, but for how much longer?
Up and through McLean's now. Cleland still hanging on to it, doing a great old job there because he hasn't pedalled these things for a while. He's got Jason Plato right behind him. If Jason wins, everyone's going to cry foul, but all the cars are the same, and he's never driven it before. Someone off on the grass. Well, I shouldn't really say that, should I?
Well, it's probably bound to be Patrick Watts anyway, so he's just getting used to it once more. Tim Harvey still running in third, and then Anthony Reid closing up in 4th place. Wonderful to see these guys who've battled over the years so much. Cleland holding the lead, and Plato just playing it patiently, I think. He didn't even look for a lunge to get past the Scotsman on that occasion. And they're all bunching up pretty close together.
Yeah, back across the stripe for the second time. 16 axe murderers, all going nose to tail down into Redgate. Still very close. Plato makes a lunge, goes for the lead, in behind Cleland, but Cleland's having none of it. Tries the switchback side by side down the hill. This is going to be interesting. Shut your eyes.
Cleland has got it back from Jason Plato, and it was clean as well. Would you believe that? I don't think we got a single dent that time as he went back through. 3rd place still for Tim Harvey. He's got the orange flash on the side of the car, so you can spot that one a little bit more easily. Anthony Reid's there though in the number 6 car. He's trying to get past Tim Harvey. Then there's a little gap back to Matt Neal, Julian Bailey, Alain Menu and Kelvin Burt, and here we go. Anthony's getting naughty.
Indeed, up into McLean's there. You couldn't get dental floss between the pair of them. Coming down the hill there, Reedy's got his eye, and he's actually made a terrific recovery from that full start. I think what happened, he realised he was rolling and stomped on the brakes again. Now he's got going and he's with him.
Yeah, he's right there with them. They're going to have to be very careful. You just saw Johnny Cicotto come through in the number 2 car, but Anthony Reid now getting alongside Tim Harvey for 3rd place, and Tim's going to have to do something here to protect his position, because Reedy is on the inside and surely he's going to take the line into the chicane.
Yeah, he's got it just hanging in there. Now Tim's obviously concentrating on a speedy exit there if he can do it. Matt Neal in the tow there, I think, trying to run with him as well. Car 92, the year that Tim won, that's how he got the number. The big numbers there are the years the champion won and the guys that haven't been champions. As we watch Plato now side by side in through Redgate. Oh dear me, for a Seat parts franchise. This is going to be colossal.
Cleland definitely tried to shut the door that time, but Plato's having none of it. They're side by side down through Craner curves, one of the trickiest sections here. Plato now with the inside line into the old hairpin, but they're being ganged up behind by Anthony Reid, and Reid's going to try and nip through as well, but now Harvey's got the run.
Great restraint there by Anthony Reid, really. He could have run wide there, but everyone stayed on. Another lunge down the inside. Plato leading, Cleland in right behind, and we've got someone off. It's car number 5.
Julian has gone off. Oh dear.
Suspicious tyre marks there on the side of the door.
I wonder if you could do some form of DNA testing and work out who it was that took him off. We'll have to do that afterwards. Plato comes through, he's still leading, but look at Anthony Reid, chased by Tim Harvey now. Tim Harvey in the 92 car, that was the year he won the title, but Plato is now in front, and that's danger for everybody. Paul Radicic down in 13th. What's he up to? He's not getting anywhere at the moment.
Yeah, normally when he's at the back of the field like that, he goes feral and barges his way through, but that's not happening yet. Look at this compression of cars. There's contact. Slid sideways there. Calvin Burton muscles his way through.
Yeah, I think he hit Cicotto and poor old Johnny on the grass as a result, but he's got it back on again with a few bits of plastic gone.
What a privilege. Cicotto, Bieler, Burt, Tarquini, Radicic, Gravett, Sittner, Bailey, rattling all those names off, and they're all in the same race. What a belter.
Yeah, now let's just take another little look at this. What was going on? You can have a look here. Well, Kelvin had a bit of a lunge there. Cicotto was already turning in, but they both got away with it, so fair enough. And Plato is still the man in front.
Pacing himself now just a little bit. John Cleland doing a terrific job there, hanging in right behind him. Then it's Anthony Reid. Tim Harvey, of course, having a great run. Alain Menu in there as well. Lots of old protagonists within a dangerous striking distance of each other. But look how close the field is. It's a tribute to all of these guys that they're still nose to tail.
Yeah, absolutely. There's 8 seconds covering the 14 cars that are effectively still running properly, that haven't had major problems, like Julian Bailey and Frank Sittner, who's dropped back off the group somewhat. But everyone else really still in there. We saw Frank Bieler go through. He's chased by Cicotto now after that incident, and Patrick Watts as well. Here comes Plato under attack from John Cleland again, and John Cleland's through this time.
Manners by Jason as John Cleland just shuts the door, only just shuts the door. Reedy's on a charge again. I hope he's taken his medication, because we're coming down into the first corner and it's getting very tight. Really compressing behind him. Harvey, Menu, Neal as well. All of them so tight into Redgate.
6 laps completed out of the 20. There's still a long, long way to go in this. They can't afford to wear themselves out too quickly. Oh, John Cleland, so far, he's staying awake, he's staying in front, and he's ahead of Jason Plato and Anthony Reid. We've got the veterans at the field seem to be leading the youngsters, although, as I said, the baby's in the middle. There's Jason Plato, here he goes. He's gone for it down the inside, and it's going to be, oh, they've hit each other this time.
Oh, it had to happen. Castanet time, the cars slapping together into the right-hander. Cleland, I know what he's saying, and I can't tell you. Back down the hill we go, and that's moved Anthony Reid up into second place. Everybody trying to capitalise on that. Jason, of course, he's just in a hurry to get home before his local shuts for last orders.
Tim Harvey's taken advantage of it too. He's now moved up into 3rd place, and let's just take another look at that.
Into the right-hander, John turns in, Jason side by side. Tim will be a little bit familiar with that accident.
Yeah, a little bit like the Porsche race earlier on, wasn't it? So, Plato is still our race leader, but Anthony Reid is right there with him. So, the old current generation are doing quite well at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly are, but the older generation was sticking together in the tent before the race. John Cleland and Jeff Allen, whatever you do, don't get too close, because your air intake's on the left, the exhaust is on the left, you'll suck in hot air and slow down. Sharing the hot tips.
Hot air, I bet there's a load of hot air with these guys get together anyway. Plato and Reid with Harvey still chasing him. Look at this, Kelvin Burt there, trying to get past Matt Neal. But Matt Neal can do better than that, so he stays ahead of him. And Frank Beeler, I think, is joining into that one. There's Tarquini. He's got ahead of Johnny Cicotto, and he's the fastest man on circuit. He's just on a 1:17.879, so Gabrielli could be one to watch as Kelvin Burt there makes a lunge on Matt Neal.
Makes a lunge, overcooks it, gets a nerf in the back for his trouble, and down the hill they go again, but doesn't lose a place. Very lucky.
Yeah, it worked for him, didn't it? But it's still Plato. He led by 0.2 of a second across the line last time. It's nothing to choose between them. Matt Neal still holding on to 6th place, and there's Frank Beeler in the middle of that group, being chased by Kelvin Burt in the number 7 car. Matt Neal there, just struggling perhaps to stay on terms with the leaders as they head up the hill.
Yeah, fair to point out that at the squeal of tyres, I knew I looked away from the screen for a moment. I knew someone was in the kitty litter straight away there.
I think it was John, wasn't it, Cleland? I think it was John Cleland who's got off, and the safety car is on track. Safety car.
The whole trick with these things, especially being turbocharged cars, you need to get the turbo spun up. So a little dab of brake with your left foot, just so you can actually run the boost up against it and try to get a jump on everybody else, because a rolling start is so much different from a standing start. So Jason will back them up, back them up, back them up, then stomp on it early, and there he goes, making the best of it. He's already put 2 car lengths on Anthony Reid as we go down. Tim Harvey in the tow right behind.
Yeah, Harvey might get a bit of a run here on Anthony Reid. Reid's on the inside, Tim's trying to go around the outside. No, not on. He's in the 92 car. Right behind him still is Alain Menu, and Jason Plato certainly made the most of that restart, didn't he? He's opened himself up a good 4 or 5 car length gap over the others. And how do they manage this? They've still been bunched up nicely, and they still managed to all be in a big gap.
Oh, a bit of neatness, gentlemen, please. After you, side by side, slapping into each other all through the craner curves. Great job there by Matt Neal, somehow to hang on to it, even though he's getting a real wet and dry rub down there from Kelvin Burt, and they're still at it. Kids at play. Now, into the right-hander, trying to find a way around there. Not close enough, but Anthony and Jason are just going hammer and tongs. They've still got a fair few bits of say at left, so they might as well keep running with it. Back across the stripe again, lap 12.
Here we go then. Anthony Reid, no. I wondered if he was going to be able to go through there, but no, this time he does have a little lunge down the inside. Oh, he's hit him! Plato's on the grass. Oh, he recovers, gets back on again, and it's a bit of a signal. Sorry, mate. Well, I don't think he is actually, but he gives them a wave anyway. Maybe it's see you later. He's off. He's in the distance already.
All you can see is dust in the distance. It's like the cavalry's come to town. If that's a little lunge down the inside, I don't know what a headbutt is. That was very, very firm indeed. But credit to all of these guys. Look at this. They're all running in the same lap times. All of them running around in the 18s. He's off big time, Kelvin Burt.
That's a big, big shunt for Kelvin Burt. And, well, they may have to bring the safety car out. That was a hefty one indeed, as we can hear the safety car, I think, is going to be out. Well, I know they're all coming back to relive their touring car driving careers, but I have to say that's a rather nasty memory of a big shunt that Kelvin had at Alton Park some years ago.
It certainly was. Kelvin, who won a couple of races that year for Volvo, had his season very much shortened. He's out of the car. That's very good to see, but it was a big side impact. Yes, he had a huge side impact. Let's have another look at this.
Yeah, well, let's see. He must have got a tag from somebody, because you don't go off there unless somebody gives you a tag, and then he slammed into the tyre barrier. It is a tyre barrier there. That will have absorbed an awful lot of the impact, but pretty scary. Now looking at what's this still going on? What's going on here? Tim Harvey and Johnny Cicotto have gone off. They haven't got to the safety car yet. What is going on?
That is outstanding. That's like crashing in a warm-up lap.
Well, that just about ends Tim's weekend, doesn't it? He could almost have guaranteed that was going to happen after what happened to him earlier on.
I've got a traffic warning. Stay away from junction 23A of the M1. This isn't over yet. They'll be sorting it out on the way home. Work this out.
Let's see what was going on here. Now, they were fairly well up. We think the yellows were out at this stage. It all got very bunched up, and, well, that's what happened.
It's like someone rolled a stun grenade under them all.
Oh, look at that's Kelvin's car. Look at the state of that. The whole side of that car stoved in. I'm not buying that one. I think this all could break loose any moment. Here we go then, through the chicane, ready to floor it. Are we set? This is it then, the climax, and Anthony Reid is right on it straight away out of the chicane. Plato chases after him with Menu then, and Frank Beeler chased by Patrick Watts and Gabriele Tarquini. That's the top 6, and Plato's on the move already.
Yeah, trying to get Brown a very, very sideways. Jason Plater gets it all crossed up. Great save, Jason. Bunches it up, though. That gives Alain Menu a bit of a chance. Menu's going to go it side by side with him. Old teammates, but that's all forgotten. Manners, you got to be kidding. Try some grass, Jason. Not in your life. Out you go. Into the kitty litter. Sideways. Nerfs him up the back. Oh, this is fabulous to watch. Over to the right, Jason. That's the black stuff.
Get back on, Jason. Oh, he does. Oh, that's a big hit.
It's a goal.
He's hit by Patrick Watts, and he's off just where Kelvin Burns' car was towed to. What chance did he have there?
Oh, Patrick Watts, too much horsepower, not enough grip, and that's just psychologically.
I thought he was going to do a Mansell then, actually. Look at this once again. Look at the impact. Bosh! Oh dear, oh dear. And Patrick Watts, surely he's not going to be able to be going much further with that car.
What did say I'd ever do to him?
There is Patrick. Oh, he's going to have a bit of a sore neck, I would think, tomorrow after that one. But look at this. Good racing going on. Further back, some side-by-side stuff down towards the chicane, but Reedy's still leading it. And right behind them now, Menu coming under some serious pressure from Frank Bieler. Well,
yeah, carrying some real pace there through the chicane. Trying to go around the outside. Frank's on the move now. Menu covering.
Look at Tarquini. He's in 4th place. So he's right there with them. And we've got some top names here, but Anthony Reid, who's never won the British Touring Car Championship, is now up ahead of some champions.
Down towards the right hand of the old hairpin for the last time, carrying lots of speed through there. Nothing wrong with the lines on these guys, crisp and fast as you like.
Yeah, but Reid's got that break, hasn't he? He's got 2 or 3 car lengths. Here comes Tarquini. Tarquini lining Bieler up for a possible manoeuvre. It's side by side, up towards McLean's, but Bieler fends him off.
Yeah, nice driving now. He's trying the right-hand side. That'll really slow him down if he doesn't get that right Tarquini. He'll need to tuck back unless he can actually force through here. He's trying to force through. This is going to be very, very interesting. Newton's law at play. What's going to happen? They've given each other room, sportsmanlike, but it's still going to be resolved. A corner to come.
So it's just the chicane to go, and Anthony Reid is in front. I don't think Menu's going to be close enough to attack. Who's going to be third? Who's going to get the podium finish? It's Tarquini who turns in ahead. I think he's got just enough, and Anthony Reid beats all of the former champions. He is the Btcc master. And there we are, he's come through and beaten the great names. Alain Menu, Gabriele Tarquini, Frank Bieler, Matt Neal, John Cleland, Paul Radicic, Jeff Allen, Julian Bailey and Rob Gravitt. He got in the top 10 there at the end. Good effort from him.
Gabriele, fantastic. You started in the last row, you came through third, fastest lap.
Yeah, it was really, really hot because starting from the back of the grid with the same car, so everybody with the same car was not really easy to overtake people. But it was fantastic because at the last lap, at the last corner, I overtook John and I finished onto the podium. So it's quite a dream.
You obviously took to the cars. You didn't mind the argy-bargy.
Yeah, I saved the car. I think that I don't have any big damage. It's a little bit shorter than before, but it's good. Thank you to Seat to repair the car.
Thank you for coming, Gabriele. And Alain, fantastic. You worked your way through second place. Well done.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy. I mean, I came here to do that race to first of all to have fun and enjoy myself, and it's exactly what I did. I mean, I don't think I've had that much fun for many years. So I'm very happy, and to come from 9th on the grid to second place. I think the race was very good, very entertaining, and yeah, it was good. Nice Sunday.
I just can't believe that. I mean, to beat the best of the best in the same equipment, fantastic.
Were you embarrassed about getting the head start, being on the front row? So you wanted to throw it away?
Yeah, I can't believe I've done so many races today, and I was getting sort of light crazy, and the lights came on, and I hadn't started one of these cars before, so I then had to stop the car, and I lost a lot of places at the beginning.
A little nudge to get past Jason.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing that all year.
So how does this compare to being the Independence champion?
In some ways it's better because my friend Alain, we came so close in the year 2000, I missed out the championship by 2 points. It's kind of satisfied to get one over on this particular occasion. But I have to say, thanks very much to Alan Gow for putting this very special race on, and also to Seat for providing the cars. It's been just great fun. I really enjoyed it.
Brilliant drive, terrific character, and look at that trophy. What
a trophy. That's fantastic, isn't it?